when I talked about the guys on the boat and they get their heads lopped off. The baseball players who lost their heads, and no one was going to listen to me anymore, and everyone was going to boycott me. Yeah, they were drinking.
Howard.
I got on the air and I said, I don't think you should be driving a boat and drinking. So everyone in Cleveland was ready to crucify me. This is the same thing again. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Howard. All this bashing about you and the Selena chick, but nobody gets on the bandwagon to say, hey, what about this Ku Klux Klan dude and all the constructive...
because listen, what are you going to do? There's a lot of grieving out there.
I understand that.
And you can't. What are they going to do? They're upset. Listen, it wasn't a white American.
It diverts their attention from the real problem.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. I mean, this is a silly thing. I mean, if I had said something bad about her and said, "Hey, I'm glad they killed her" or something, I mean, then I would agree that they should be up in arms.
But even if you're head, you are a silly disc jockey.
Right.
No.
What can I tell you? There's so many problems. Particularly in some of the Latin American speaking countries.
All the constructive things that you do, and I might not agree with everything that you do.
Listen, let me just say something, because this can go on all morning.
Yeah.
I am going to make a statement at 8 o'clock. It'll be available to the press.
You're not taking any of these calls.
Yeah, I mean, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
If you think it's absurd, so do I. But what can I do? I want to certainly make a statement. The press wants me to make a statement. I will make a statement. I am not shying away from any statement.
Good man.
So I will do that at 8 o'clock. I've informed the press that I will do that at 8 o'clock, and that is that.
Thank you, Howard.
I think
everything you sticking to this. You sticking to this issue and going forward with your statement is about the boldest thing that anyone could do.
Of course, I'm very bold.
Well, he's a brave man.
I'm a very brave man. I served 3 tours of duty in Vietnam. I mean, how much more brave can you be?
That's it. Like I said,
say something?
everybody may not agree with everything that Howard Stern does.
Exactly.
But Howard Stern has, for once, somebody make a statement that Howard Stern has brought a little bit of, a sense to America.
Thank you. All right, thank you, sir.
Howard, have a good day.
All right, you
love
too.
You here in Cleveland.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Most people don't want sense. They want nonsense.
That was a beautiful statement from that man. He kept trying to say something, but he didn't know what he wanted to say. It's hard to sort of compliment me and say, you are really doing...
What about all the good things? What good things?
Yeah, name them.
I should have asked him to list them.
Yeah, okay, come on. Guy's trying to say something nice. Buffalo, you're on the air. I haven't gone to Buffalo in a while.
Good morning, Howard.
I'm informed we might be getting a new phone system in here soon because with the addition of Chicago...
We've run out of phone lines?
Yeah, I don't have the Chicago line yet. I think it's coming in Monday, so I'll be able to take calls from Chicago. But I think they're saying now they might update the phone system because we just don't have any more lines left. They wanted me to get a 1-800 number where everyone could just call in on, a universal number.
But you wouldn't know where they were from.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where people were from. I don't know. I like knowing that this guy's from Buffalo.
And it's nice knowing that you could go to Buffalo anytime you want.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
Nobody wants to.
We've never actually had a need to go to Buffalo anytime we want, but we know that we can do it should the need arise.
Good way to pay $8 in tolls going over. That would be fun.
All right, hey, what are you doing, man?
No, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the news yesterday, and we get WOR or WWR or whatever.
Yeah, Channel 9.
And, and they have, it's a good way without paying you for them to fill 10 minutes of news time.
Well, this is what this is. Listen, I bring big ratings. If you see a promo during the afternoon that says, stay tuned, Howard Stern has done it again, he's at war with the Hispanic community, they love that headline. And then they show the picture of me going into one of my book signings with thousands of people there. And it is a tremendous ratings grabber. It is so big, it knocked the D'Amato story off because it is a big story. Listen, these guys they need people to watch this news. Local news, even national news is dying in the ratings. They got to have something that is glamorous. And I am glamorous.
They come
You never thought of yourself as glamorous before, did you?
When they flash my picture up for the news, it equals big ratings. I'm saying that my fans will stay tuned through hours of garbage just to wait for that 10-second mention.
I just can't believe. I mean, it's 1995. Everybody's so thin-skinned. I didn't even know who the Selena chick was until. When
have you ever heard me say that? I am Mr. I am anti-crime, death penalty all the way. I talk about people being murdered. I'm a big defender of women and women who are beaten. That is it. What do you think? I'm going to get on the air and say, gee, I'm glad she died. I was talking about Latin music. I don't understand it. Listen, I told you, I am not going to apologize anymore. I am not going to sit and try to explain myself anymore. I am going to make a statement at 8 o'clock, and that will be the end of it. That will be it. I will not answer any more questions after 8 o'clock about it. I will not talk to the press about it. I will make my definitive statement at 8 o'clock, and it will be satellited for television newscast this evening.
Over here in Buffalo, we don't get the E network. Well, we do, but we get it from 2 o'clock in the morning to like 10 o'clock in the morning. They do one of those half-day deals.
And look at the half of the day they get.
Right.
And we get 2 o'clock to...
He's got a lot of deals like that where they're on for half a day. They're on from 2 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning.
Why bother?
Yeah.
But we get the all-Spanish network, Univision.
Yeah, they've been railing against me.
Oh, they were railing, but I don't know, when they show the montage of Selena, they never play her music in the background.
Well, that's what scares me. I mean, they're railing against me, and I'm going like, man, what these people must think. They must think I'm like the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in, and then with this whole D'Amato thing, I thought it was funny that it happened on both the same day.
Yeah.
Come on, I mean, what happened to this country? When you were a little kid, remember Sticks and Stones May Break My Bones, that one?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, first of all, this is, in my case, it's a little different. In my case, they're attributing things to me that I haven't even said.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the front page of Newsday. I mean, if I was Latin American, I'd be pissed off. Latino slam Stern slur. Radio hit by backlash for bashing Selena. For bashing Selena. What is this?
Well, what they've done, I teach school, and they've turned this whole country into one giant high school locker room. He said this in the corner, and she said this.
Yeah. Well, I will make... Listen, don't even sweat it. I'll make my statement. If they like my statement, the press, fine. If they don't like the statement, they'll keep... This is the only statement I'm making, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock, okay?
Right.
Thank you.
All right, cool, pal.
Bye. I am like a United States Senator now. I am almost the President of the United States.
It's what you say that matters.
Yes. I am making news. All of the news organizations demanded that I make a statement, and they want it on the satellite so that they can feed it to all the local stations.
I noticed that Senator D'Amato had to make a statement, and now you must make a statement.
I didn't want to make a statement. It's like, what is your statement? I said, wait a second, who am I, the president?
We need a statement.
Anyway, I got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle. 7:05 at the Harley's and Pure Rock. 97.1 The Eagle. It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
At 8 o'clock, I'll be making my statement to the press about the Latino controversy. And then maybe at 8:30 I'll make my statement about the bathroom rest stop sign. We'll see how many statements I can make in one day. Jackie, Jokeman, Marlowe, to order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Also, Thursday night, April 20th at Rascals Comedy Club in West Orange, New Jersey. For filthy jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Papa Foley informs me on our line we have another one of these phony phone call guys. This is Phone Ranger.
Oh, I don't know him.
You know the Phone Ranger.
He's from Texas. So
yeah, Phone Ranger's called him before.
I don't remember him.
Remember him, the Phone Ranger. Phone Ranger called the E-Network.
Really? Got to Kathleen Sullivan?
During the O.J. trial, got on live because she takes lots of phone calls. He loves O.J. I mean, he's sending the ratings to the roof.
He's the biggest star on their station.
Well, we are, and then O.J.
Oh, we beat O.J.?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're the biggest show on E, and then, I don't know. Maybe O.J. beats us at this point, but O.J. gets more time.
I don't know about that E station. You know, whenever they talk about programs and their success with these programs, I'm not sure what that means.
Well, it means, who knows what it means. Anyway, the Phone Ranger is on the phone, and he called in. Phone Ranger, is that you?
Yes, good morning, King.
Yes.
Now, remember, Howard, a couple of days ago, we played a phone call to Kathleen Sullivan, and she said, I guess I'm not a virgin anymore. I guess it was her first Howard Stern phone call.
Yeah, now she's a little annoyed, I guess.
Yeah, it's not so funny.
Now they're starting to come in.
And you said she liked us? Well, it won't for long.
Phone Ranger called in, and he had an agenda. He had they were asking for questions about O.J. and stuff, and he was just going to ask a question, but Kathleen Sullivan sees that Phone Ranger actually lives in Texas.
Yes.
But he says he's from Redondo Beach, because he's, making up something.
Uh-huh.
And Redondo Beach is where
Mark Furman is from.
So, Kathleen was like all excited. So she starts getting the phone ranger into a whole discussion, and then the phone ranger gets to ask his question.
All right.
Am I correct, phone ranger?
Yes, King, as always you are.
Thank you. Phone ranger, go ahead. Why don't you play your call?
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
And Mike from Redondo Beach, you are so patient. I know we couldn't get to you yesterday morning, but we got to you today. How are you?
I'm great, Kathleen. I used to watch you many, many years ago on ABC, and you are still beautiful.
You mean just last year, wasn't it?
Oh,
that's right. Mike, I have to ask you a question. When I knew you were on the phone yesterday, we didn't get to you. Have you been to this Marine recruiting station or any Hennessy's or any of these places in Redondo Beach that Detective Furman talked about?
I've been to Hennessy's twice.
Is it a pickup bar?
Well, kind of. It's not as good as like Salem's is. That's a real pickup bar. I know the guy Scott Salem who owns it, and also Sorella's is a good place too. But Hennessy's is on the outs, I heard.
But is it like a neighborhood bar the way Mark Furman described it?
Yeah, I've been there about 2 years ago. It's a neighborhood bar, like all the friends and when people get off work, they go there. But that's usually like late at night. When I heard him talking about that, in fact, I think one of the bartenders there a couple of years ago, and lately it's been on the outs, and I haven't been there in a while. So it is a good neighborhood bar.
Most boring phone call ever.
We're checking, that's on the Charles crossword puzzle list. All the bars that have been mentioned, Hennessy's and Baja Cantina. So I know you called in to get a question answered.
So she loves
I didn't want to take up too much of your time, Michael. Do you have a question for Charles?
Well, Kathleen, I want to know, did you bang Howard Stern to get this job?
Oh, please, don't you have more respect for me than that? Boy, that you know, I guess what saddens me so much is that someone can be so nice to you and can give you information, you think he's credible, and then all of a sudden talk about blowing your credibility. Michael, I'm really sorry you feel that way about life. Gloria.
There you go.
Wow, you really got the lecture. And you know what's funny? I mean, you're droning on about Hennessy's and Sorella's and Scott Salem's and all the bars, and I mean, it really is dull.
Yeah, no.
And she thinks she's getting some kind of information from you.
She's hanging on every word.
And then, then you asked her if, does she have to have sex with me to get that job at E?
Well, I was scrambling there.
I wish I know, because she put you on the spot. You just wanted to ask your question.
Yeah.
You didn't know you'd have to give a dissertation.
That was pretty good ad-libbing, though. I mean, you threw in Scott Salem, our engineer, and Ralph
Sorella.
Well,
Ralph Sorella.
I didn't want to say Baba Booey's because I think they would have nailed it.
No, that would have been it. That would have been it.
Now, Sorella's was good.
You should have gotten Robin Quibber's new book in there.
Well, this was a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
But that's what I'm planning to do. I've been planning that for a couple days
now. Is that right?
Very good. All right. Of course, it's the Phone Ranger. Everybody knows him.
It's a pleasure for me to get to know you again.
Yes, Phone Ranger, thank you so much.
Actually, this is my first time on.
That's what I thought.
Oh. I knew that. I was just trying to make it like he's one of our old pals. Thank you so much, Phone Ranger.
Thank you, King. I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Don't ever change. Who was that masked man, Robin? The Phone Ranger.
Did we ever get his name?
Did you notice his sidekick, Homo Sabi?
That's Tonto.
Tonto. Homo Sabi.
Homo Sabi.
That was good. We once did a bit called The Gay Lone Ranger.
With Homo Sabi.
With Homo Sabi. It was great. And what was Tonto's name?
I think it was just Tonto.
Was it?
Yeah, Tonto used to call the Gay Lone Ranger Homo Sabi.
We don't have a copy of that, do we, here?
I'll take a look. I don't think that's on card.
Yeah.
I'll look.
All right.
Because he always used to call the Lone Ranger Chemo Sabi.
Yeah.
And you changed it to Homo Sabi.
It was the Gay Lone Ranger. The Gay Lone Ranger. Out of the west comes the Gay Lone Ranger. Ugh. Homo Sabi. Yes? You got to find that. That's good.
I'll see if we have.
Because the Lone Ranger was the victim of a snake bite.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the Gay Lone Ranger gets the snake bite. No, what it was actually Tonto.
Tonto got the snake bite?
Got the snake bite. I think Gay Lone Ranger had to suck the venom out of Tonto. It was pretty good. And they both rode backwards. Remember that?
That's right. Trying to hit that horn on the saddle.
Let's ride backwards, Tonto. Why that, Homo Sabi? Hit that horn on the saddle. That was a great piece of work.
It was a masterpiece.
I got to take a break, but Fred's out of the room now looking for Homo Sabi.
You might as well take another phone. Oh, there he is.
You know, I'm getting so many calls about this Hispanic stuff that, you know, the Hispanics are mad at me, and I'm making my statement at 8 o'clock and everything, but...
You still getting phone calls?
Well, some guy called me and said he actually went to Selena's funeral.
Yeah.
And he claims he was charged everyone was charged $4 a head to go in and see the body.
We don't want to talk about it.
Well, I do.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
I told you I'm going to stop talking about it after 8 o'clock.
That's not true.
So I said, you know, because when Sam Kinison died, I had suggested that it would have been a great idea to stuff Sam's body and take him on tour.
Yeah, Sam would still be working if it was up to you.
I don't know what ethnic group Sam's a part of, but I didn't, you know, there would have been an outrage, but no one knew what he was, no one would have known.
No group knew which, the group didn't know who should organize.
Yeah, no group knew who to organize. And I said it would be cool because Sam would be there for every show.
He would be the perfect employee, which he's not in life.
And we could charge $4 to see him, $7.50 to touch him.
Oh.
Remember?
Get your picture taken with him?
Yeah, with Sam.
Prop him up.
Put him in Weekend at Bernie's 3.
You actually said that he could continue his stand-up because that last album he did was so great.
Yeah, we would just play it.
Yeah.
And most people didn't get to hear it. So we just like, you know, most people, you know, when I went to see Sam at Nassau Coliseum, because he used to play some big venues, I was sitting so far back, I couldn't see him with his mouth moving. So I said, the only thing that Sam was known for was his trademark walking back and forth.
Right.
So we could have just rolled the body back and forth and played the tape. Yeah, it would have been the same. It would have been the exact same thing. And we had all that great new Sam Kinison material.
Yeah.
So I might have to issue an apology at 8:15 to Kinison fans. But anyway, so some guy called up and said, so I said to Jackie and Fred in here, we made a bond. I said, whoever goes first, we have to all give permission that you guys can charge money. Like if Jackie goes first, which really he should because he's the oldest.
It should be that way.
It should be that way, but you never know.
I won't, but I should.
You won't, but you should. If Jackie goes first, we lay his body out, and we have permission now from Jackie that we can charge $4 a head to see Jackie.
Nancy won't stand in our way?
No,
Does
no.
Nancy know about this?
I don't know what Nancy knows about it.
She's sharing the profits.
Right. Well, yeah, she gets your share of the profits. It's an equal split.
10 cents on the dollar.
Right. And then like $10 to touch Jackie.
Ooh. Boy, if you go, we retire.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Could you go first?
You have to eat so well.
Yeah, really. Could you just sort of help us out here and go first?
If I keep having to go into meetings with Tom Chiasano, I will go first.
If it's $10 to touch Jackie, forget about it.
I know. Jackie was mad at me yesterday. He won't admit it, but he was mad at me yesterday.
Oh, that was funny.
That was fun. Everyone saw it, too. After we got off the air, Jackie's wife was here, and I think Jackie's wife is real cute. So I was like all excited. I said, hey, Nancy's here? So I ran out in the hall because I had, the other night I was taking care of myself as I do every night to get to bed early, so the way I can fall asleep.
She thought you were describing a dream.
Well, yeah, I'm going to get into that. I was, for some reason, I was going through my Rolodex of women that I usually think about when I'm, taking care of myself.
Your card file.
My card file in my head. The usuals came up. Tawny Katane. You know who comes up every night?
Who?
Diane Parkinson from The Price is Right.
Really?
Yeah, because she really likes me, and I saw her Playboy video, and I've seen her naked. In the Playboy video, and she wanted me, and she told me she thought I was really great.
Oh, she's definitely had her arms wrapped around you and said, oh, we could get into trouble.
Yeah.
She was hot, too.
Yeah, she was real hot. I always think about what if I had gone over to that hotel and what would happen.
She looks like she'd be a real
get into trouble.
See, so I have a weird list of women that I think about when I do that.
Yeah, that's a surprising one.
Yeah, because she's older and stuff, but it's got to be women that I have a chance with. You know what I mean?
Really? You can't even in your fantasies get women that aren't available to you.
Yeah, Claudia Schiffer doesn't ever come up, right?
Yeah, no, Claudia Schiffer doesn't come up. It's and then
that's shocking.
There was a new intern here that everyone was screaming about the other day. She was wearing a bippy shirt, a little belly shirt, and she was wearing tight jeans or tight pants and no bra, and everyone was going, Howard, you got to go look at her and look at her. But
did they really?
Yeah, so
Is that what's going on around here?
Yeah, well, I looked for her. I couldn't find her at first, and then I ran into her in the hall and everything. She did look great, and But, like, I wouldn't do it to her because I have no scenario with her where I could possibly, I'm not going to go make it with an intern. That would be the talk of the station. It would be really embarrassing. So it's
in your head, Howard.
But it doesn't matter. It's got to be a realistic scenario for me.
So, in other words, you're never going to be Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
Because you couldn't take it.
Well, if I was single, I would be with the interns. I just got to watch my ass, even in my dreams, because I don't want my wife finding out.
Oh, you're amazing.
She did look good, too. And then I heard Tom Chiasano was screaming in the halls and stuff that he doesn't want her dressing that way.
Oh, really? Then he was fantasizing, too.
I don't know, but
immediately leaped to
I yelled at Tom.
What was she wearing?
He claims that she wasn't wearing a bra, and so does Fafa Fooey and stuff. And Tom says,
how would they know?
I don't know.
So what's the problem?
All I know is I walked into the bathroom and said, boy, she looks great.
I don't know if Tom's wearing underwear, and I wouldn't require him to, whether he did or not.
Tom believes there should be a certain way of dressing at the station, a professional way of dressing, nothing too outrageous.
It wasn't the bralessness that was bugging Tom. It was the exposed belly.
Oh, the exposed stomach. Tom doesn't like that. What?
Tom made no comment about bra, underwear.
Oh, you didn't?
There was the
exposed stomach?
Yeah.
You're not into that?
No, I don't think it's appropriate for
So I started yelling at Tom. I had heard that Tom, I'm standing there in the bathroom. I said, hey, Fafa Fooey, that girl looks great. Tom goes, well, there won't be any more of that. I said, Tom, what are you talking about?
He's right. You couldn't keep your mind on your work.
No more. Yeah, but I had done my show.
Tom comes in and
he goes, I don't want girls wearing exposed shirts. I go, Tom, you know what? There's so little fun in life. We're all going to be dead in a few years.
Who cares?
We're getting older.
No,
Why do you concern yourself with what girls are wearing? Let them run naked through the halls. Let's have some fun. It's a radio station.
I have done that.
There was a move. I don't know if you realize. I guess you do realize this. You know that in the 70s or 80s, somewhere along the line, radio became a business. It used to be fun, like the program.
You used to have girls like that in the radio station all the time.
Yeah, the program director used to wear like T-shirts and have a beard to be a hippie, and then someone.
I have no problem with that.
And then somebody all of a sudden figured out that everyone should be management and it's a business. Let's have some fun. If an intern wants to show a stomach off, what are you worried about? Let's have some fun. And you liked it, too. You're a man.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Very cute.
This is not Congress.
And who is he going to be meeting with, Tom?
Howard started screaming at
I never yell at Tom. I really don't. I mean, on the air, I sometimes get excited.
Maybe she only has bellies shirts that expose her belly.
The funniest thing Howard said is he's yelling at Tom and he goes, what happened to you? What happened to youth? What about youth?
This is a rock and roll radio station. This isn't a bank.
You're concerning yourself.
I was upset. I said, if you're going to stop girls from wearing belly shirts, this is what I got to look forward to.
Go home.
What is proper attire to Xerox? Go home. My wife ain't wearing no belly shirt. Go home. If I don't get to see belly shirts, she was real cute and everything, but she doesn't enter into my mind because she's an intern, and my wife would find out.
There is a line.
Yeah, there's a line.
Absolutely.
Even in my fantasies.
Well, I have no problem playing that fantasy because I think I played it about 10 years ago, so I could just replace her.
Do you believe how much press I'm getting on this Latin American stuff?
I mean, I told Gary this. I mean, I was on the phone last night, got a call, about this whole thing that might be going on in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
What?
So a bunch of Latin American congressmen went together and introduced into the...
probably today. It's supposed to happen today.
Into the congressional record that I'm a bad person.
A condemnation.
A condemnation of me.
Again, nobody checks anything.
No, but nobody knows what I said. Did you read the Newsday article today?
Oh, I mean...
I didn't say one bad thing.
The whole thing is unbelievable to me because I know every word that was said.
No one listens closer to this show than Tom. Trust me.
I'm good for something.
Trying to memorize everything.
Yeah, Tom could read... Tom from memory could tell you my show.
Absolutely. And exactly what no way did you disparage her.
Yeah.
Are you calling or writing to Congress?
Are you going to write a memo that we should all write to Congress? But you want to know something? I've already been crucified because everybody I run into that's Latin American are like, oh, man, you shouldn't have said that, man.
I mean, it's crazy.
And I just said, what?
Frank Flores talking to you?
Yeah, Frank's hardly Latin American.
If you could see the list of phone calls that I got, I'm not your spokesperson.
My agent
you do a good job speaking for yourself.
My agent got 300 calls yesterday, demanding a statement to the press. That's why I'm going to make my statement at 8 o'clock.
I think it's a great idea.
But, I mean,
I don't know what
Newsday...
you're gonna say,
but seriously, this is almost inciting to riot. Newsday, Latino slam Stern slur. Radio host hit by backlash for bashing Selena.
But I resent Congress.
But you didn't bash Selena.
I didn't bash Selena.
I resent Congress doing something without checking on it.
I know.
It's a good picture.
That's a congressman. I don't care what they write about me in Newsday. As long as it's a good picture.
You know what? For once, it's a good picture.
Yeah. I'm thinking of suing Newsday and that Latino, what's that channel?
Telemundo?
Telemundo. I'm looking into it. I'm having it all transcribed. Because if there are inaccuracies, I'm going for it this time. I don't dig it, man. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be. Yeah, I'm not going to be. Stepped on.
It is wrong.
Yeah.
See, we agree.
I'm getting my ass slammed.
For once, we agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with you about that girl not being able to wear her belly shirts.
I'm all for casual
So what happened? Has she been told she can't wear belly shirts?
I haven't
never got a
seen
chance
Peggy. No, I did not.
Right. Oh, okay, good.
Not a high priority, I guess.
Thank God. Jeez, when a young girl wears a belly shirt, it wasn't even that short a shirt.
Let Tom do his thing.
All right. Tom, you go patrol the halls for shirts. He's got that eagle eye. Thank you, Tom. So anyway, I got to take a break.
Authorities just tell him exercise. Let him have a good time.
Let me take a break, and then I'll tell you the end of this story why Jackie's wife, why he was mad.
Funny.
All right.
I was trying to get him to fight you.
Hey! I get mad when you break my balls on the air. That doesn't upset me at all. If it doesn't upset her, it don't upset me.
All right, well, we'll see.
She actually blushed for the first time in about 10 years.
Let me come back and finish this story right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Eagles toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
You want to see a funny E-show? Tune in tonight with Elephant Boy Gets Speech Therapy. This is when I sent Elephant Boy to the famous speech therapist, Sam Schwat. Will Elephant Boy be cured? And also bonus pictures from Elephant Boy's bar mitzvah.
You have got to see those. I just happened to get a quick glance at some of those snapshots.
Yeah, great.
Oh.
Well, I saw the edit on the Elephant Boy TV show, and I got to tell you, it's a scream. I didn't see the bar mitzvah pictures, but I saw everything else.
I'll tell you, those pictures could only help.
It's a scream. You will love it. Every night, more fun on the E-show. We are 20 minutes away from my statement that I will be making worldwide.
Well, I'm very excited.
To the Latino community as well as the English-speaking press, where I will comment.
Will you be talking in both English and Spanish?
Oh, who knows what I'll be doing, Bob. Let's see what happens. Anyway, I'll make a statement, and that will be the end of that. I mean, that will be the end of my statement, anyway.
You don't know if it'll end the controversy.
No, you never know. You never know if it'll end the controversy.
You're hoping.
Yes. I'm hoping and I'm not hoping.
I don't know what you are.
I'm not sure. But what can I tell you? I will do that because everybody wants a comment. David Hinckley, I got to hand it to him. He just listened to the show yesterday and printed what I said.
Oh.
That's a comment. Stern. Let's see. Let's see. I lost it. No, anyway. Get some kind of quote from the show. Anyway, but Newsday just crucified me and just slammed me and then didn't follow up with what I said.
I don't know what you said.
So I'll give you the quote today. And everyone can use it. Hey, so getting back to yesterday.
I was going to say speak slowly so they all get it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, where was I in that story from yesterday?
You had just met Nancy in the hall. You found out she was out there and you ran out.
Yeah, because I was kind of excited that I had thought about her while I was pleasuring myself the other night. You know, Jackie's wife. It was kind of exciting. And, you know, she was here, so I figured I'd go out and tell her. Thought it'd be exciting, you know.
Was it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean...
What do you mean you thought it would be exciting? I
was excited. I thought about her just 2 nights...
You wanted to compliment her? Or,
yeah, I know. I thought about her 2 nights before, and I just wanted to tell her about it. I was excited to see her. So I ran out. She looked terrific. Nice and skinny with the big chest. Super chest.
You know, it looked to me like you mentioned it to her, and then you, dragged her into the hall and had a real tape.
No. Here's what happened.
I saw the whole thing go down, so I'll tell you if he's telling the truth.
You didn't see the beginning, though.
I did, too. I saw the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't lie. Listen, why would I lie?
Sometimes you misinterpret.
I see. So do you. I read your book. Anyway.
I misinterpret me. I don't even.
I walk out in the hall, and I see her, and she's looking really good. And she was actually in my office.
Yeah.
So I went into the office, and... I said, hey, Nancy, man, what I did to you the other night. And she was like, yeah, I heard about it. Now, she thought that I had a dream.
Right.
And I said to her, no, this is no dream.
No accident.
I was thinking.
intentional.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about Diane Parkinson. I wasn't thinking about Jessica Hahn. Because Jessica has a really good body. I have a vision in my mind of Jessica giving me a rub down with her top off. That always flashes into my mind, and I can think about that.
That really happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can think about that, and then...
So that can trick you very easily.
Yeah, sometimes I think about Miss Howard Stern. Sometimes I think about...
Amy Lynn, you always think.
Amy Lynn a lot, because I once gave her, like, a back rub and stuff, and then I started, like, rubbing her down pretty vigorously. So that goes,
What about Elena Beasley?
No.
She don't do it for you, huh?
It's not that she doesn't do it for me. I don't have a scenario.
No image.
And I don't think that she really is attracted to me. And then there's like a whole bunch of other girls, too. Even like Pamela Anderson occasionally, because I still think I could have gotten her if I really worked it.
So if somebody walks around that desk and gives you a hug, they're likely to show up in this parade.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Tula's even ended up in there. You know what I mean?
Well, see?
Hey, anything goes in my fantasies.
Looks good.
Hey, she looked damn good. I said, that's a woman.
Howard.
Hello, I want to touch you. So, you are something special. So then, I'm trying to think of the laundry list of other babes that it's a weird list of women that regularly pop in.
Sally Kirkland?
Yeah, sometimes Sally, because Sally practically raped me one time. We were sitting here.
Now that you tell me if they walk around there, I can give you the list.
Yeah, because Sally once, pulled her pants off and got totally naked in here when I was auditioning her.
Didn't she sit on your lap?
Yeah, but she was naked, and then all of a sudden she pulled my pants down, and we almost had, intercourse because she almost raped me. It
was like disclosure in here.
Yeah. And Stacey Galena once in a while. You can picture the laundry list. Raquel Bianca. It's a weird list of women. So
somehow Nancy made the list.
Yeah, it was just weird. And I went out.
No,
well, it was
I don't
weird.
know that she'd actually gone over there and sat on Howard's lap or anything like
this
that.
This was different. But one time, his wife did have a dream about me, so ever since then. And also, I've seen his wife in a bathing suit, and she's really, she's built. She's built the way I like it. Super skinny, no fat on there. Nice ass, and then has the chest.
Yeah.
I like her. And she's got curly, long hair, and, I could picture, holding onto that hair like a horse. So, and plus, I run into her once in a while. And I think she actually kind of digs me. That's why Jackie hates me so much.
Is that what's fueling his envy?
Yeah, I think he knows that there's something there. Yeah, right. It could happen. So, in order for me to have
not
sex,
saying much. She's done it on the lawn.
Right. Yeah, she's done it on the lawn with black eyes.
Wasn't ready to sign up as a prostitute, though.
So anyway,
she couldn't get any money. Her pants were down too fast.
That's right. She could have charged that guy. So anyway, I went out there in the hall and I said to her, I got to tell you about this. I was in the office first, and then I said, I got to tell you about this. You want to hear? So she goes, oh, I don't want to know. And I go, you want to hear it or not? Okay.
Well, okay. You're going to tell the whole story?
Yeah. So then Jackie walks into the office. He's like, hey, what are you doing to my wife?
I think you skipped a part.
No, I didn't. I'm getting to it. This is the first time.
Okay.
He walked by. He didn't. He liked that I was talking to his wife, but he I don't know. It was getting kind of weird.
Yeah.
There was no the usual funny joke man around.
Oh, no laugh came after.
Because he was like, next time I see your wife, I'm going to tell her. I'm going to tell her I want to do her. Something like that. So. Anyway, so I'm talking to Nancy, and Jackie disappears, and I don't know, somehow I walked away for a second to go to the bathroom, and I end up in the hall with her.
Wait a minute. Here's what I saw that you're not telling.
Yeah.
She's sitting on the edge of the desk.
Right.
And you're saying, you want me to tell you what happened, what I did?
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, sure, go ahead. And you looked at her and you said, I can't tell you, I'm too embarrassed.
Right. I said, it's too weird. So eventually we worked it out.
And that's when you walked away and you went to the bathroom.
Yeah, so somehow I ended up back in the hall with her after the bathroom.
I know that you dragged her into the hall after I was out of the picture.
Whatever. Yeah, I had to get away from you because you were being a real pain in the ass.
Was sort of around.
Yeah, Jackie was commenting.
What embarrassed
That's what embarrassed me because I was trying to tell her what happened between us, and Jackie was ruining the moment. Like he had to be there to hear, and I was like, hey, Jackie, get lost. I'm trying to score.
Did I interrupt while you tell me?
Yeah, she was making little comments. All right. So, because I got pretty graphic. So I take his wife out in the hall, and I said, okay, here's what happened. We're at my house. It was like a party. It was like that same stupid party that I had 12 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. I said, so you're wearing like a dress and everything. You look really hot. And, high heels, the whole deal. And Jackie, of course, is embarrassing you for the millionth time because he's already so drunk. He's carrying 2 beers in the pool. And then he passes out in the corner and he's like vomiting on himself in the corner.
You know, one thing about...
Which is really what happened at my house. I mean, Jackie was an embarrassment. And Nancy ended up yelling at him because she even has books about how to deal with an alcoholic.
Right, all over the house.
You said.
Right. She doesn't like his drinking, and she can't get him to stop drinking.
After everything you said, she either said that could happen or that has happened.
Right, yeah. Anything about Jackie, she was like...
an outrageous story, and she's going...
Yeah, no, my sexual fantasies are based in the truth.
Right, she's saying, I remember that night.
So Jackie's like flat on his back, vomiting on himself, and like Nancy's upset. She has to go check on him, make sure he hasn't choked on his own vomit. And like I start talking to her, and there's like music thumping and everything, and it's dark out, and everyone's, hanging around the pool and feeling good. So Nancy starts dancing to the music suggestively, which has happened. And she starts dancing, and she starts to do like this slow strip for me because she's a little high. She strips down to a thong and a bikini top. And she goes, well, I go, you look great. So she's wearing the high heels. Okay? So Jackie's over in the corner still vomiting. And he's unconscious. He's like unconscious, so there's no problem. And the sexy music is thumping, Jackie's vomiting. So anyway, then Nancy says to me, why don't you give me a tour of your house?
A scenario right for lovemaking.
Yeah, right. She goes, why don't you give me... Now, you get a picture. I'm laying in bed. This is all going through my head. My pants are... My sweatpants are down, and I'm working myself. I think that's what goes on with a guy. Right?
I'm sure.
So the tour is her idea, So I'm taking her through the house, and we get to the bedroom, and Nancy sits down on the bed.
Well, see, you're not painting this story quite accurately because you're not telling me anymore. You're actually telling Nancy.
Yeah, and Nancy can't even look at me in the face.
I know.
She's turning beet red, and now it's almost like we're doing it because she can't look at me.
Well, you had on this long overcoat, and you had your hands in your pockets.
Well, I was working myself.
And there was a big tent in front of you.
Oh, get out.
There was.
You did look like you were going to flash her at any minute, though.
I did. It looked very bad.
Okay, so...
You were all hunched over.
First of all, that's inaccurate. There's no way I had a big tent.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, okay, that's a little better. All right, so I'm telling her, and she can't look at me at this point. She's starting to blush. But
she kept trying to beg me for help. Robin,
help.
do you know what he's doing?
So
He's
then
telling me this.
Yeah, and then I turned to her and I go, well, do you want me to stop? And she goes, well, no. So I said, okay. I said, so then I get you on the bed, and we're talking, and I start to rub you down. Start to rub your legs. And, my hands are very powerful on your legs. And you're really liking it. And you lean back, and I pull down your bikini bottoms. And I do something to you that you really like. I said, you're holding on to my head. And you're like, and then all of a sudden, I look up at you and I say, Nancy, this is crazy. Jackie's a writer on the show and a friend of mine. And I mean, we work together every day. This is crazy. There's enough women that if I'm going to be cheating on my wife, why would it be you? And she's like, I know this is really stupid, but don't stop. Because she's really now the orgasm is imminent. And I'm doing that, and then all of a sudden,
she chose to do that. That's weird.
She has tons of, I know, of course. She has, and then now she's experiencing unbelievable pleasure. She can't stop. More pleasure than she ever experienced with Jackie in the 15 years she's known him. And then, it's my fantasy. And I'm telling her this. I'm going, and you're experiencing more pleasure. And she's beet red and now staring at a wall.
Yes.
I said, look at me.
She was looking down.
Yeah, I said, look at me when I tell you this. I said, then I flip you over. And, needless to say that my energies are devoted to her back. And she turns beet red and she's like, oh my God. She goes, I can't believe that dream you had. I said, no. It wasn't a dream. I said, I was fixing myself. So then I walk her back into the office and Jackie's in there and he's like, hey, what did you do? What did you say?
What are you doing to my wife?
And then he was like mad at me. He wouldn't talk to me and stuff.
Yeah.
I said, hey, dude, I didn't do anything to you. I just told her I was just complimenting her.
Spoiled her.
I don't know, man. She loved it.
Couldn't talk to her for like a half an hour.
Is that right?
She was on another planet or something.
She was, right?
Women like to hear that, man.
I know.
An object of a fantasy.
Yeah, but, I can see what Jackie...
Women don't just like to hear that, Jackie. They get sexually turned on.
Your wife was really turned on. She's ready.
Turned on by the alarm clock.
No, she was really ready.
Oh, she was leading on that. Well, she was out of her mind.
She really likes me. She really likes me. She likes me.
She does like me.
Yeah, I know she does. You don't have to tell me.
If she had looked at Howard, forget about it. She'd have jumped on it.
That's right. She was ready to go in the bathroom with me. I'll be honest. I mean, I never seen her look like that even on my wife.
If they were standing in the middle of a radio station hallway, so something would have happened.
You better satisfy that woman.
I do. I have.
Yeah, okay.
I remember one.
Anyway, so that was my day yesterday. All right, I see we are 10 minutes away from me making my statement to the press about...
Jackie's mad again.
I know. Now he's upset again. He gets this look on his face like a serious look.
This is exactly what happened yesterday.
Yeah, it was weird.
I tried to get him to punch you.
I got to tell you about Rick Dees.
What did he do?
Well, he was on the news, too. He was on Entertainment Tonight, too.
About this?
No, about something else.
Oh, dear.
He is a goofball. Let me take a break and get into this. I'll tell you in a minute. We'll be back right after this.
The most important radio show of the century, The Howard Stern Show.
Because the press has been alerted that I will be making my statement about the latest controversy.
You're a little late already.
I'm a little bit late. I've called it for 8 o'clock. I'll take one phone call before I do it to make sure that everyone is available by the radio. There are some stragglers. There are members of the press.
Is that your problem?
Yes.
No.
It's not my problem, but I'm being polite to the press in an effort to clear up any misunderstanding.
Very well.
I just was talking to a guy on the phone who was in Dallas yesterday. He said,
what?
People were like screaming and yelling about me. But he was in Dallas. He said, they sell guns in Dallas. And no one's upset about this, but they sell guns in Dallas like you would not believe. I mean, it's just like one of the biggest businesses in the world.
If you go to the store for a dress and they don't have one, they say, well, why don't you take a gun?
Take a gun. But anyway, I have explained myself till I'm blue in the face, so I'm going to give the press a statement, and then that'll be it. Before you do anything else, have you seen the picture of Sandra Bernhardt and her girlfriend in the paper today? What page? What paper?
It's in Newsday, A15.
Let's not read Newsday anymore. I mean, they slandered me today.
I know, but you got to see this picture. Don't read.
They set me up. What's the name of it? I mean, what's the page? A15?
A15.
I don't mean, man. Boy, she gets the best-looking girls.
A Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
My wife's got to let me date. If Sandra Bernhardt can get a swimsuit model, I know I can.
They've been avoiding photographers all week.
Oh, yeah, they make a nice couple. We got to get Sandra in here.
She's been laying low. We need to talk to her.
You're not kidding. All right, after I make my statement,
and her girlfriend.
Here's the things I got to talk about.
All right.
Rick Dees and what a jerk he is. Again, I don't know what ethnic background Rick Dees is, so I hope I don't get attacked.
What group should be organizing? You should alert them.
And then, because I also don't like country music, I hope I don't get attacked for that.
Vehemently opposed to line dancing.
Yeah. I think I've been treated a little unfairly by the press, but...
Hey, you're a big guy.
Yeah.
You can take it.
Ralph said I better put my dark glasses on for the statement.
Very, very important note being slipped to Howard. Put on your dark glasses.
That was from Ralph. Because my statement will be, believe it or not, as soon as I make this statement, it will be handed off to a satellite company. They will put it up on the satellite for all of the press to have, because what I say is very important.
I wonder how long before it hits the airwaves.
Oh, it'll be instantaneous. I'm sure by noon. And the audio portion will immediately be played all over the world.
All right.
But let me take one phone call. I mean, I'll just punk down our phones a little bit.
Well, I mean, now it's
you think it's time to make...
after 8
hours. All right.
Any stragglers should be here.
All right, so after I make my statement, I'll take a break. Then I will take some phone calls. I will talk about Rick Dees and what a jerk he is.
All right.
I will talk about the latest controversy in New Jersey involving me, the sign, and the police.
We're going to call the police.
We're going to call the police.
If you don't do it yourself, I'm doing it, because I know where you are.
There you are. Robin will turn me into the police. I'm sure even after the statement, at some point, Robin will throw in that her book is on sale. She has to get those plugs in.
It's in the stores.
Right, in the stores. Everyone excited about that, of course.
I'm doing a book signing next week.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold off. That'll be a special announcement.
I don't want to obscure your statement, so go ahead.
I mean, I have to make a statement. It looks like you're trying to glom in.
The press.
Looks like you're trying to glom in on my press.
Let me say this.
All right. Now, and I will also ask that the crew be quiet during my statement.
Well, I have a protest to lodge.
Yes.
When you say that.
Yes, thank you.
What you're saying is now that someone else is controlling this show.
Yes, I am controlling the show.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yes.
No, that you're not controlling the show.
No.
You don't tell anybody to shut up on a regular basis.
No, I want to make
Everybody talks whenever they talk.
No, the reason I want you to talk is because I want to make my statement, and I'm taping it for world release.
I understand that,
right.
But the point is, this has never happened before on this show. Outside
right.
forces have now leaped in.
That's right.
And are controlling this show.
You are absolutely right.
I just wanted to lodge a formal protest.
There you go. Now I'm thinking, maybe I should play some Selena music behind me.
No,
when I make
don't you do
No,
it.
why? No, that'll be fine. That's not disrespectful. I'm trying to.
They don't understand anything.
No, please. Everybody understands everything. Yeah, and cackles and things will not help from Jackie, Fred, or Robin. Thank you. I'm now going
to... my mic.
No, I'm going to make a statement. I'm prepared to make my statement. All of the press is gathered.
Tell me when you're starting so I'll know when to shut up.
You'll know when I'm starting. Let me see if this works. All right, I'll just keep that down in the back. Here is my statement, my final statement. I don't know, it's kind of distracting me.
I was going to say, that's my favorite song. Turn it up.
Wait a second. Here we go. Como ustedes saben, soy una persona satírica. Mis comentarios sobre la trágica muerte de Selena, sin duda, no fueron hechos con la intención de causar aún más angustia a su familia, amigas y a aquellas personas que la querían. Me enfurece que la vida de esta joven mujer se le fuese arrancada sin sentido. Su asesina tiene que ser tratada firmemente por la justicia. Gracias.
Now
And that concludes. And that concludes my statement. Thank you.
Now I can speak.
No. Now we can play a commercial.
Oh, no.
And then I'll come back and you can
Wait a minute. You got to tell me if they gave you a phonetic pronunciation.
No. I wrote that, and no phonetic pronunciation.
How do you know what you said?
I know exactly what I said.
Suppose you pronounce something wrong and it means something else.
I didn't pronounce anything wrong. Listen, I grew up in a Spanish and black community. I know what I'm saying.
Like the Spanish I usually hear.
I will repeat it again. I will, and I threw in a plug for your book.
Oh, stop that.
I will repeat it again.
I didn't hear quivers in there.
If you don't, listen. Como ustedes saben, soy una persona satírica. Mis comentarios sobre la trágica muerte de Selena, sin duda, no fueron hechos con la intención de causar aún más angustia a su familia, amigos y a aquellas personas que la querían. Me enfurece que la vida de esta joven mujer se le fuese arrancada sin sentido. Su asesina tiene que ser tratada firmemente por la justicia. Now I'll go to commercial.
Gracias.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Howard Stern Show. 97.1. The Eagles toll-free line. 1-800-54-STERN. The Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Robin told me something really disturbing this morning.
I did?
Yes.
Oh.
Really disturbing. No, not the fact that she was molested by her father, as I read in your book.
That didn't disturb him at all.
No, I didn't lose a night of sleep. Not the fact that you're holding a book, son. None of that. None of that disturbed. Nothing disturbed me. That should disturb you, but not me. But I must tell you that this is wild. You know, I've been talking about the O.J. trial for a while, and I'm not gonna bore you with a long speech, but I did a routine yesterday about what the six black women on the jury are thinking.
Well, you've been doing it for a few days, and
yes.
I thought, he's outrageous.
Yes. I will probably be on the front page of Newsday tomorrow saying that the black community will be after me.
I was saying to myself, he is so far off.
Yes. So I did a routine yesterday where I said it wasn't a routine. I was just talking really, and I said that that the jurors there are not paying attention to anything. It's a racial trial. They don't want O.J. guilty, and I said what's going on is this. Look at that Johnny Cochran. That is a fine brother. This Johnny Cochran is wearing a suit and a tie that would make most men jealous, and this is a lawyer. This is a role model. This is some man. What a wonderful... I wish I could marry a man like Johnny Cochran. He is so beautiful, and that O.J. is... Thank God there's a brother who hires a black attorney, gives him a chance, and look at him blowing away all these white people. There's Marsha Clark, and... Oh, that Johnny... Johnny. A black man dressed up like that could not lie. O.J. could not lie. And what is all this evidence they're talking about with blood and everything else? O.J. wasn't even there. He said it, and that's it. That's what they're trying to do, man. Always get the black man. I'm telling you. I know that this O.J. is going to walk free. He's as guilty is. His blood's all over the place. And I know now they're saying there's a blanket. Forget the blanket. The blood is all over the place.
Well, a juror was dismissed yesterday.
Yeah, now listen to this. So a juror was released from jury duty there.
Her name is Jeanette Harris, and she was dismissed because they now say she gave misleading information about domestic violence when she was filling out that questionnaire that all jurors have to fill out.
Right.
They now think that she had an experience with domestic violence. She says that they've made her look like a liar and that no incident occurred, but she's off the jury.
Right.
So yesterday she talked to some news people.
Now you would think that a woman who might have been involved with domestic violence would have felt really negatively toward O.J.
Oh, no. She feels bad for O.J.
Yeah.
And she says that she's disillusioned with the entire process because it really didn't feel like a search for truth. And her prediction now is that there will be a hung jury.
Tell us why.
She described Marsha Clark as a woman with a job to do and doing the best she can. Christopher Darden confuses me, she said.
He is a race trader.
She described Johnny Cochran as... Cochran.
That is the pronunciation.
No, it's Cochran.
Cochran.
Johnny Cochran as fascinating.
Yeah. He is fascinating. That is
eloquent.
Eloquent man.
In control of the courtroom.
He is... Marsha Clark can't even control that courtroom. Meanwhile, Johnny Cochran doesn't even have a case.
She'd be comfortable having Cochran or Robert Shapiro represent her.
Oh, yeah.
If she had to go on trial. She singled out Detective Mark Furman, as cocky and arrogant.
Can you imagine?
Someone she did not believe, and someone who would make racial slurs and plant evidence.
She already thought that he would make racial slurs. Nothing's been introduced that he made a racial slur. They just asked him, have you ever used the word nigger? That's all I am telling you that O.J. walks.
So there you have it.
That Christopher Darden, how could a black man think that another black man is guilty?
Johnny is eloquent.
And Shapiro is a good man. I'm telling you, that's what the women on the jury are thinking. I am telling you, I know it. I don't even know how they allowed this jury.
She also said there are racial tensions on the jury.
Can you imagine? Now, how can that be? The whole jury's black. And there's racial tension.
That some of the racial tension is some of the blacks are going for a guilty verdict against O.J.
Every time this Edo finishes up the trial, he says, and I hope I'm not taking away from Senator D'Amato's impression. It goes like this. He says, "Don't discuss the case. Don't discuss the case.
Remember my admonition.
No talkie." And what are they? She's telling you they're out there discussing the case.
Yeah, that some of the blacks on the jury are going for a guilty verdict against O.J. They think they're going to vote guilty.
How's it going to look if Mr. Johnny loses this case? Representing a black man who is a representative of this community who played football for the Buffalo Bills of Buffalo.
I couldn't believe that what I heard when she said she was feeling sorry for O.J. She didn't say anything about the victim.
Nothing.
She is feeling sorry for O.J. and she thinks that something's being hidden.
Something's being hidden.
The prosecution's case, that's all.
It's all lies.
Air. She doesn't think they've done anything at all to implicate O.J.
This is a black man in chains, the way we were chained for 200 years. He is sitting there trying to behave himself, and yet society is trying to pick on him. And Mr. Johnny Carpenter, this man, he is so elegant. When he gets up and makes things clear to me,
he is in control of that courtroom.
What about the blood all over the car? What about the blood? Well, I don't know.
It could have been planted.
The Japanese man up there.
That Mark Furman could have planted it.
Don't trust it. O.J. hasn't opened his mouth. O.J. is getting fairer treatment than I am from Newsday. On the cover of Newsday today, Latino slam Stern slur. Radio host hit by backlash for bashing Selena, and not one quote of me bashing Selena. And they are getting better. O.J. gets better treatment than I do.
I got more friends.
He took a knife and cut those two people. I know, innocent until proven guilty, right?
It happens.
It happens.
I got a question.
Yeah.
It looks like we're obviously going to run out of jurors. What happens when we run out of jurors?
Either everybody in the case would have to agree that they could go with less
which
than
they
12,
say the defense won't.
Right, or you get a mistrial.
I hope there's a mistrial because we got to get a white jury. And let me say something.
I think we've adequately demonstrated that black jury can't.
I mean, here we are, and this is Christopher Darden. I don't understand that boy. He is silly.
He confuses
Marsha
me.
Clark is trying to do the best she can, but she is addle-brained. And O.J., he's just sitting there minding his own business, not bothering anyone. You could see the man is arthritic. And when are we going to see O.J.'s knees again? They're so sexy. And all this blood evidence and Japanese people talking about blood. What they show us his knuckles again? They were so pretty. And when he pulled his pants down, it was great. What is it?
This is a guy on the phone. Remember I told you about him before? He claims to be a police officer that was with this woman yesterday and heard comments that she made after she had done her TV interview.
Well, I don't know that you're really the police officer, are you?
Know.
Well, I can tell you who can verify that. A good friend of yours. You there, Howard?
Yeah, Dee Snider from Twisted Sister?
No, John Stamos.
Oh, John Stamos was there?
Yeah, I'm a good buddy of his. You can call him later and he can verify me.
Now, are you a black officer?
Of course I am.
Oh, so what happened? You were ushering her around?
Yeah, and it's a shame. I'm telling you, see, Howard, you get the wrong black people on there. I'm a black man. This O.J. is 100,000% guilty. This race baiter that they had on the jury is sickening. You should have heard her. It mirrored just what you said. She was talking about Johnny Cochran's suits, about how good his hair was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh man, and you know what's even worse than that? She was bringing up O.J. is about the finest thing she ever saw. It mirrored everything you said. It wasn't a parody.
It's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sickening.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I'm telling you.
Did she ever voice any concern about the people who died?
The only other concern that she voiced, she accused the L.A. County deputies who were guarding the sequestered jurors.
Yeah.
Accused them of also being prejudiced, favoring the white jurors and basically downplaying all the black jurors. So
I want to know.
Conspiracy.
I want to know what's wrong with the prosecution that they can't pick out like a jury that's at least going to be neutral.
You know what that is? Let me tell you what happened there.
Yeah.
Gil Garcetti felt that they had such a strong case that they felt
Hey, let's
it would
get
look good
right.
if we get this many black people on the jury and get it convicted. This way there won't be any riots or anything.
Yeah, which I think is absurd.
Well, that's the other thing. The woman said that she felt that the jury was going to be concerned about what would happen if they gave the wrong verdict.
Well, what's sad about it is that what that is that they're saying that a verdict by a jury with white people on it when a black man is on trial is worthless because it'll start a lot of riots.
But also,
so the riots were very successful.
I think what happens here is, all right, you see, we tried a black jury. Now we got to go someplace else. We can't go to that. We are exhausted that.
Well, originally the jury.
Meanwhile, you know what I say? If they run out of jurors, let me say something. You know what they do if they run out of jurors? We've all seen the case on TV. Let us vote by phone. I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, there's a million people who've watched this. Millions.
Well, we haven't seen all the exhibits, so that
we've
would
seen everything.
Us.
Oh,
but
please.
I think
they had an opportunity to go to Santa Monica. That because basically the area of Brentwood, the district court is in Santa Monica, which is a predominantly white area. They had an opportunity. They had an opportunity to go there and pick the jury, but they felt we'll go right to the heart of Los Angeles. And because we're going to get some black jurors on there, once we convict them, nobody will have any problem with it.
Yeah, I mentioned that months ago.
This trial, and they have to have another trial, then they can take it somewhere else because they can say, "Look, we have to go somewhere else. We already exhausted this pool."
This is the most bizarre moment in the history of this country.
Hey, let me tell you something, Howard.
Yes, it is, and I'll tell you something. I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep over it. If he walks, I got to go on with my life.
Slavery was pretty bizarre. I mean,
slavery, nothing.
The wipe out of the Indians, that was pretty bizarre.
No, this is the best. This takes it all.
This woman, this nappy-head Shanifa, she got
What did he say?
What did he say? She's a nappy-head Shanifa.
What did he say? I missed it.
She's a nappy-head Shanifa.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a term we use as police officers, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm a black man, and I can say that without getting any trouble.
Well, I hope you don't get into it.
Hey, let me tell you something, man.
Could we point out to the black community that was the police officer?
That's right.
Yeah, we got to be careful right now. I'm under attack by Latinos. But I'm sure tomorrow I'll be under attack by some other group.
Somebody needs to grab her by her fake hair and spank her. Because this woman went in there biased as can be, knowing that no way.
Well, that's your opinion.
Listen to the evidence.
Let's just say, in all fairness, that's your opinion. All right, thank you.
Hey, Howard, before you go, let me ask you something.
Yes, officer.
You know what O.J. Simpson and Ted Danson have in common?
What would that be?
They both got rid of an old, ugly black bag.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, man. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, brother.
All right, bye-bye. Salam alaikum.
Oh, my.
Well, there's a guy who... Well, let me make a statement now to the black community.
Yes.
Como ustedes saben, soy una persona satírica. Thank you.
I thought you'd start off, yo, yo, yo.
No.
Listen up.
I think we ought to pull in some Europeans as jurors, not have Americans on the jury.
How about a non-American jury?
All right. I'm thinking about that. I'm looking into that right now, Robin. Don't worry.
Since we can't trust ourselves.
Yeah, so it was like disc jockey heaven yesterday on TV because they had me I was being framed as the enemy of the Latino community.
Yeah.
You know, you would have thought that I was the gunman who, pulled out the gun. Then over statements that I didn't like Latin music. Then D'Amato was doing his thing with the Japanese thing. Which, of course, Imus was thrilled because it's the first time he's been mentioned in months anywhere.
I saw him being interviewed through the top of his head.
Yeah.
You know how
they almost have him hidden now because he looks so ridiculous. And now he's some sort of pundit. He has a political show now, I guess. And since he doesn't say anything funny, D'Amato's defense, he was just trying to get the show a little energy into it.
He felt some pressure.
He's like, well, where are the jokes? Yeah, where are the jokes? Somebody make a joke here. It's supposed to be a comedy show. And believe me, D'Amato no one listens to Imus. Guaranteed no one would have known that he made an anti-Japanese statement. But Imus, of course, took the tape and sent it to the media. I tell D'Amato, you're insane for going on that show. That guy threw him to the wolves.
The press.
So he gave the tape and he gave it to the media and he got himself interviewed.
The man who used to run from reporters is now seeking them out.
And Imus looks like Johnny Carson's father.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Actually, he looks like a guy who works on the railroad.
Yeah, he actually is a guy who works on the railroad, who should be working on the railroad. This company gave him a revival. But, so that was going on. And then Rick Dees was being interviewed because, You know how people send us OJ song parodies and we play them all the time?
Yeah.
Well, Rick figured out to start playing the parodies people send him. So he played one, some OJ song parody, and then all of a sudden he goes, "We can't play this. I know, innocent until proven guilty," because the song was saying OJ is guilty. And he was like, "No, OJ is innocent until proven guilty." And he had a big smile. He looked all feminine. He had one of those crew neck, like not a crew neck, a V-neck sweater. And he looked, if they put some breasts on him, he looked like a girl. Looks like a goofy girl. And he's screaming, "OJ is innocent until proven guilty. We can't play this." It's like, I'm so embarrassed. He's a chubby-cheeked fat broad. Hey, speaking of OJ song parodies, Gary, where's that one you got the other day? Some guy sent us one. Remember, OJ's innocent until proven guilty. So Rick doesn't ever say anything outrageous or funny, so now at least he's got the audience writing song parodies. Yeah,
that's it.
We've been doing this for months, of course. Rick just tapped into it. Is this the one, OJ rapping?
Yeah.
What was this one?
You know, remember the song Rapper's Delight?
Yeah.
They made it. OJ's doing the rapping.
Oh. Guilty. Don't they actually have OJ's voice on here?
That is OJ's voice.
Of murder. No doubt. Guilty. Of murder. Look out!
It's from Evie Richards.
Hi, I am O.J. Simpson, and I am guilty. One day I was high on speed and killed Nicole.
And then Rick would stop and go, "Whoa! Innocent until proven guilty."
No.
What a dick. What a jerk. Because, Rick wants to seem fair to OJ. He can't have an opinion.
Well, he knows what's politically correct.
So guilty. Too guilty. There's just nobody around who committed these murders except for OJ, as far as I'm concerned. OJ's blood all over the place. So they're screaming about a blanket.
They're talking about the blanket, but how did the blood get in the car?
Yeah, I don't know. But you saw that juror. She's like, "Johnny Cochran has a nicer suit." I mean, it's like, well, what's the point of even having a trial if the woman can't get beyond the fact that Johnny Cochran's a really good-looking black guy and OJ's really fine?
So this trial won't be over till like the end of the year, right?
Yeah. They're saying like October probably. Yeah, October, November.
So then
they'll never last.
And if it's a hung jury, how long will it take them to bring it back to trial again? And it could be like.
Who cares as long as OJ's in jail?
Can they keep him in jail?
Yeah.
Menendez is in jail.
Sure. Oh no, he would be. Anybody who is a suspect in a double homicide would have to stay in jail.
So then he would probably push to bring it back quicker.
Yeah, but then we could move it to some place where they got some, white people.
Oh, stop that. How about some people who will make an honest decision about this without the...
Right.
We tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah, we tried.
No. Without the problems of race involved.
Yeah, good luck. That'll happen.
Oh,
did you read about the National Enquirer?
What's that?
They said one of the complaints was that nobody went looking for an alternative, to somebody committing the crimes for another suspect.
But they had a suspect.
The Enquirer spent $1 million trying to chase down any kind of lead to look for any other kind of suspect.
And there wasn't one.
Nothing.
Yeah, I know. They were looking into the theory of the 4 cocaine cartel guys who came over to kill Faye Resnick and Nicole because...
Yeah, the housewife cartel.
Yeah, because these 2 housewives were in danger of taking over the entire cocaine distribution in Los Angeles.
Sure.
Certainly on that block.
Yeah, so they came over to do a hit on those 2. Of course, Faye wasn't there. She was in rehab.
They had to get the other housewives in line.
So now all the housewives in Los Angeles are shaking in their pants because they were thinking of taking over the cocaine cartel. Yeah, now they all know better.
Worked.
Yeah, so Rick Dees was on TV last night making a fool out of every disc jockey that ever lived. What a dick that guy is. I got to get out of this business. We got to take a break. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
8:30 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. Eagle weather. It's 8:37 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern all morning. Pure rock all day. The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Getting a lot of faxes today. I'm going to take some phone calls. Here's a fax. Why is Jackie the Joke Man like a tampon?
Why is that?
Because he performs in stinking holes, and everything he does has a string attached to it.
I resent that.
I like that.
You like that?
Disparaging to women.
And I will be on the cover of Newsday tomorrow.
You consider that beautiful place a stinking hole?
That's right. You ever see where Jackie plays?
Well, I know where Jackie plays.
Well, that's all I'm referring to. Anyway,
stinking hole. One place Jackie plays is not a stinking hole.
Yeah. Name all the other ones, though.
Hey.
All right, very good. A little fun here. I think I received a phone call from the Letterman show.
Yeah.
I got to check into this, but I made a statement the other day on the air. I said, the Letterman show calls me all the time to come on, and I just haven't been into it lately because I really don't feel like I have anything to say. And, I don't know. Last time I went on there, it was kind of weird. Dave's like, I think he wants me to be his buffoon, like his dancing monkey, you know.
Mm.
So I said, you know, I'd like to go on and just open the show instead of the monologue and the top 10 and all that crap. The show opens up. Me and him are sitting on couches. You know, like maybe some beanbag chairs or something informal. Beanbag chairs, I like that. And I'll just sit there and I'll interview him for 2 segments about what went wrong at the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd have to break format and stuff. So I don't know. I mentioned it on the air. I think they called my agent and they said, hey, we heard Howard wants to come on. I don't know if they'd go for my concept, though.
You don't know if they understood the concept.
Well, they did say we heard Howard wants to come on Dave's show and bust his balls. So I don't know if they got the concept or not.
I'm sure they got it and just pretended they didn't hear it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Because I think it would be like a Barbara Walters. It would be something different. Instead of the usual, everyone wants to know what really went on. Because you know,
Dave would be his best guess.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Dave's hot news. He screwed up. He made a really bad career decision going on the Oscars, and it didn't go over.
Yeah.
And you know how suicidal the guy gets.
I want to know what went on after that show. I want to know what it was like in the middle of the show. I want to know what he did that night after it was over.
Yeah, how many times he watched the tape, how many times he called his agent.
He had a week off with himself in that tape. What happened?
And who's the man to interview him and get it out of him? Me, of course. But I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe. Oh, hello? You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Howard.
Hey.
Whatever happened to that butt flute music?
What?
The what music?
The butt flute.
Butt flute. Oh.
Oh, you like that?
By John Tush. Oh, I love that. That's the greatest.
So this guy named John Tush who sent
you
us...
think that's his real name?
Yes, I do. I don't think the guy would lie. Who sent me a composition called Butt Flute, and here in New York I've been using it as, when I read the live commercials, I use it as a backup.
It hasn't been on the last couple of days.
Yeah, well,
it's really distracting because I know everything that's going on in there.
You going to explain it?
Fred, you got the Butt Flute song? This guy sent it to me, and I don't want to get too graphic with it, but he did sample a bunch of noises. And
you think it's like a Prince thing where the guy's playing all the instruments?
Oh, yeah. You got the butt flute? Yeah, play a little from that, because a lot of people around the country don't get to hear it during the commercials. And I'm not going to go into the way the guy recorded it or anything. He sent me a letter about it, but...
He did?
Well, yeah. Dude, let's put it this way. There's no real instrumentation on here.
There is, too.
No, there isn't. There's no instruments.
Well, not real instruments.
No. I mean, I'm telling you, this was all done with certain parts of his anatomy.
That drum?
Yes, the drum is all... Listen carefully.
That's not really a drum.
That ain't no drum. That's sampled into his Casio.
I don't believe it.
Oh, absolutely is.
Never come in here and perform live for me.
This is all natural, just like Snapple. Fantastic. All right, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, another thing. When I heard Breast of, when you guys were out...
Yeah.
Breast of?
Best of.
No, it's called Breast of. Hey, that's pretty good. Why didn't we think of that?
Breast of Stern.
From now on, it'll be the Breast of Stern.
What the hell's wrong with it?
Whatever happened...
Gary, make a note of that. From now on, whenever I'm out, it's called the Breast of Stern.
Very good.
Nice.
Whatever happened to Jackie having a kid?
What was that?
Whatever happened to Jackie having a kid?
I don't know. He might still be trying. For all I know is he shouldn't ruin his wife's body, making her
Throwing out
pregnant.
dust now, I bet.
Jackie, you might have a kid. You don't know. Right. You're thinking about it.
Right.
You still don't know?
Jackie wants to be as old as Giff when he has a kid. Jackie looked more pregnant than his wife. Jackie, every once in a while, loses weight, and he starves himself. And now he's back to having that huge pot belly again.
Yeah. You want...
Oh, come on,
He doesn't believe it.
You haven't gained any weight?
I put 10 pounds back on,
but
I took off 30 pounds.
Oh, okay. I'm going to lower you.
Thanks a lot, Howard. I love you.
All right, I love you.
Puerto Rican, man.
You're Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican.
You're supposed to hate me because I'm anti-Latin music.
I'm just hoping my mother doesn't call you with her rotten accent, man. I'll be totally embarrassed, man.
Did you hear my speech?
Yeah, man.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, cool.
Pretty good pronunciation, huh?
Hey, good.
Yeah, listen, I grew up in a Latino neighborhood. You know? All right, goodbye.
Thanks, Howard.
All right,
Okay, goodbye.
take care.
Now you got me humming that song.
Some guy made that, and you know that recording session had to be disgusting.
Brutal.
If you really sit and listen to this, you can hear exactly what's going on. Albany, yeah, the video is unbelievable. Albany, you're on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
How you doing? I was just, let me turn my radio down.
All right, man.
You were talking about, I hate to kick you when you're down, Howard.
Thank you.
Because I like you and I listen to you all the time. But I do believe that, that interstate stolen property, which is a federal offense, not only a felony.
Yeah. Well, listen, I didn't steal it. Someone mailed it to me, and I announced it immediately.
I bet you'll get swifter justice than OJ.
But that's received.
Hey, maybe I should call the state police up now. Hey, Gary, get the state police on the phone. Tell them I want to discuss with them.
Negotiate your surrender.
Negotiate my surrender.
We understand you didn't steal it. You know, everybody knows that. But when you do receive stolen... I know people have been put in jail just because, you know, they bought
I don't know that I was fencing it. I received it in the mail, and I announced it. I'm not hiding it.
Absolutely right. When you receive stolen property, that's a crime.
Are you insane?
Yes.
Howard, it is a federal offense.
Yeah, it's a federal offense if you try to hide it.
No, interstate, when you go...
Dude, you mean to tell me if I steal a bunch of diamonds and I mail them to your house, you're guilty of something?
If you
Yeah. No, not if he announces it. He's not guilty. Say, hey, look, I got these diamonds. What am I supposed to do with them?
If you accept it.
Oh, be quiet. You sound dopey. You know, you sound stupid.
No, well, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd let you know.
All right, thank you. I'm not too worried about it.
I'm for you,
I think if OJ can get off, I can get off.
I'm for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right. You're for me. Stupid ass. Deal with something real. Vegas, you're on the air.
I'm on the air?
Hey, so where's this book signing you're going to do?
Howard, how the hell are you?
It's
good to talk to you, bro.
Who's this guy?
Let this guy talk first.
I'm from Vegas.
And then I'm going to take a call from Phoenix.
Drinking, bro. So
I don't think we've ever taken a call from... I'm just lowering him. I don't think we've ever taken a call from Phoenix before.
You should have been the governor. But the only reason you didn't win, you know why? Because you didn't say you were going to stay there for 4 years.
Hey, Phoenix, you're on the air.
Good morning, Howard.
Hey, good morning. I think you're our first call from Phoenix.
Well, and I'm very happy because I'm formerly from Akron, Ohio. Robin may remember me as King of All Lyrics.
Yes. As a matter of fact, in Phoenix, we are not going to do well, according to the competitor there. What's the guy's name again? Pratt or something?
Yeah. He's worthless.
We're not going to do well because he claims he's done all our material already.
Oh, wonderful. Well, at least he admits to doing it.
Yeah. He says, well, I've done it all, so shouldn't I be the guy? In Chicago, this guy Mancow, the one who stole all my material.
Yeah.
And I was reading a newspaper quote from him. He says, oh, I'm not worried about Howard Stern. He's a has-been. I said, well, gee, at least I'm a has-been. At least I did something. What have you done that's original? Nothing.
He's a never-been.
Yeah, you're a never-been. He's a has-been. That's why I saw the accompanying article. They took a picture of him. He's naked, and he has hands over his genitals.
Right.
And he's posing like me on my book cover.
Where'd you get that?
These are all the Howard Stern imitators I got to put up with across the country.
Hey, guess this.
Please.
Your other competitors, Tim and Mark.
Who are they, in Phoenix?
Yeah. They do a gay Lone Ranger bit.
Oh, do they really?
Yes, they do, twice a week.
I did that. I can play that for
They're
you.
doing it over and over and over again.
Hey, Fred, do we have the gay Lone Ranger?
You don't have it here. You might have it in your personal collection.
All right, Gary, make a note. I'll bring it in tomorrow just to prove to Phoenix where this stuff comes from. I did this at NBC over 11 years ago.
Long time ago.
Gay Lone Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? They do it every week?
Twice a week.
What do they do? Like at some point, doesn't it get boring after a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you came to town.
You see, there's a lot of Howard Stern imitators who took a lot of the material from NBC and turned it into this show. And then I hear guys who are doing more like what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
There's a whole different kind of Howard Stern imitators.
But
you know what I'm going to do?
In general, you're absolutely right that they take an element or two and they just try to drive it into the ground.
You know what I'm going to do next week? Baba Booey, I want you to put together a show of all my old bits where I will introduce to Phoenix and Chicago and San Diego and Miami. You know, I got to do this once in a while so I can lay claim to my own bits.
Because you always announce that you're going to do this.
And I never do
you
it.
Get to one bit.
Some of the old song parodies like Electrocute the Fool, you know, and all that stuff. And, you know, even stuff dating back to NBC. I might even play the stuff I did in college just to show you where all this stuff comes from.
How about band bits? You probably don't even own a copy of Virgin Mary Kong, do you?
I might. I could look for it.
I've never heard that.
You weren't with me at that point?
No, that was the weekend before I got here.
Oh.
You got suspended.
Yeah. I was in New York with Fred, and Robin was coming to join us. And she was all excited, and I was excited, and we were all excited that we were being reunited, and then I went and got suspended, and Robin was like, oh, no.
Yeah, you called me that night. You said, you better hurry up and get here. I got suspended
I was
again.
like one step away from being fired.
And I just quit my job.
Yeah. Robin just got a good job in Baltimore, and then...
Call in my book.
There you go. Get that plug in. Oh, boy. You better. Listen, this is a business.
Quivers Alive.
Quivers Alive. On sale now.
Hey, Howard, I heard they released the 3 names of the guys that stole your bathroom plaque.
Is that right?
Yeah, Juan Cruz, Pancho Cabrera, and Elazar Espinosa.
Oh.
We don't know anything about
We don't know anything. Hey, listen, man, I just tried to get out of one Spanish...
Well, that's not you saying that.
Brouhaha.
Right.
Hey, did you ever hear back from Letterman about doing that interview show?
Yeah, I just announced that we actually heard back from them because they want me to come on, but I don't know if he'd go for me actually reformatting his program.
Well, I got the top 5 reasons why you won't be able to do it.
Why is that?
Number 5, because 95% of your questions won't be allowed.
Right.
Number 4, because Letterman knows that this would be your official audition for the late night race.
Right.
Number 3, because Letterman's afraid that Jackie the Puppet would come out and interview him.
Yeah, number 2.
Number 2, Letterman's nervous that you would pull down your stupid pet pants and do tricks.
Well, there is a stupid pet in my pants, you're right. Yes.
And the number 1 reason is because Letterman's mad that Paul Schaefer's picture's in Robin's book and not his.
Right. All right, very good. Thank you.
All right?
All right.
Hey,
you should apply for the Letterman show.
Yeah, it's as good as that material used on the Oscars.
Yeah.
Is there any chance I could talk to Fa-Fa Flow High off the air?
Sure.
Thanks.
Someone wanting to speak to Fa-Fa Flow High off the air. I don't see any problem with that.
Especially when you ask so nicely.
I got to take a break because I've been trying to line this up since 2 days ago. We had Christopher Cross on, Monday or something. And he's that guy who did Sailing. So while he was on the air, he got kind of weepy and said, I asked him, is that song Sailing about sailing? And then I was just, I didn't know. And then he said...
Beavis and Butthead question.
Yeah, right. I was like, hey, dude, what's that about? So he said, no. He goes, actually, it's not. There was this guy. My father was a drunk, and he never paid attention to me, and I really felt abandoned by my father, and it was a really unhappy time in my life, but there was this guy.
Al Glasscock.
This guy, Al Glasscock. And then we did about 12 minutes on that. This guy, he says, but in all seriousness, this guy, Al Glasscock, was like a real good friend to me. He was an older guy and took me sailing, and it really helped me. He was just so nice to me. He didn't try to molest me. He didn't try to rape me.
No, he was just a good guy.
He was a good guy who, saw a kid who was really down and out and helped him. He says, and I've never been able to find the guy. It's been impossible to find this guy, Al Glasscock.
In fact, he just realized a couple of years ago that Sailing was about Al Glasscock.
Yeah. And he said, I can't find it. He says, I knew him in Texas and all that. He says, so we're hoping that, he says, maybe through your show I'll find him. So, okay.
And he said Al had become a lawyer.
Right. So, 2 seconds later, someone says, hey, I just looked up in the phone book, lawyer, Texas. Yeah, he's right. He's listed.
So how hard could Christopher Cross have been looking?
I don't know. So we're going to try and line that up next, okay? I think, in fact, I see Fluff Slowly is lining it up as I speak. And they will have their reunion. Hopefully it'll be tearful like a Maury Povich show right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1. Toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Hey, this should be pretty good. Give me some sensitive music. Yeah, because I got Chris on the phone and Al. Let me get them both on. Hold on. Chris?
Howard?
How you doing? Christopher Cross, of course, the man who wrote Sailing and Arthur. And Ride Like the Wind. And didn't you write Laura's song?
I did, yeah.
See? And we had Chris on the show the other day, and I was talking about how it was like the first sensitive moment we've ever had on the show, I think. You know, Chris?
It was a moment.
It was a moment, right?
It was wonderful. I had a great time.
So Chris confessed on the air that the song Sailing, which sold like 10 million copies or something, you know, sailing into the ocean of my life. Takes me away to where I always wanted to go. Be. I'm bad with lyrics, Chris.
Had a great to me, Howard.
You got a 10 air.
So anyway, Al, don't worry, I'll get to you in a second.
Is Al there?
Yeah. I'm doing something. I'm really trying to do something here.
Morning, Robin.
Good morning, Chris.
Anyway, so that song, well, Chris came in and performed it for us, and I turned to him and I said, hey, what's that about, sailing? And he said, actually, no. He said, it came to me, and Chris, if I'm saying anything wrong, you tell me.
Okay.
It came to me a few months ago, actually, what that song really is about.
That's true.
He said, my father was a real pain in the ass. He was a drunk. He was awful. He didn't pay attention to me. And like I had, you know, it was just really bad. It was a bummer because I was like, I really felt abandoned by my father.
That's true. There's very little bonding going on.
Right. So he said, you know, once in a while you meet nice people in your life. There was this guy, Al Glasscock. And Al, believe me, you know, I'm sure you got a lot of crap with that name, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Says there was this guy, Al Glasscock, who's just like, he was an older guy who was a real nice guy.
You know what I was just thinking?
Yeah.
With all the ribbing he took as a child, he could have grown up to be a real dick.
Right, but he's not. Anyway, Al Glasscock was this guy who Chris knew. And he said, hey, you know, Al, did you see that Chris was bummed out?
No, I actually had no idea any of that was happening.
You didn't even know he was bummed out?
No, not at all.
You just said, hey, here's some kid hanging around, and maybe I'll befriend him.
Yeah, it just seemed like just a real nice kid.
Yeah, and he was a real nice kid, and you used to go sailing a lot, right?
Right.
So you said to the kid, hey, you're hanging around, you want to go sailing.
Right.
You took him sailing, and you weren't like Al was not a child molester. He was not like looking for any money from the family. He was just like a nice guy.
Nice guy, something you don't find these days.
Yeah, very rare, especially here in New York. Where are you?
I'm sure they exist, but very rarely do we hear about them.
Yeah, and you very rarely hear about them. Let's put it that way. They're almost non-existent. It's the same way you hear about Halley's Comet.
It comes around every 75 years.
If somebody in New York takes you sailing, you're gonna, your pants are gonna be down.
Usually you're the boat.
Right. Anyway, so Al and Chris said, now Chris, you tell Al you've never even told Al what those trips meant to you, have you?
Wait a minute, I got to ask Al. Now, you've heard that song, right?
I bought the album when it came out.
So you knew Chris was the guy?
I knew he was the guy.
Oh, that's great.
Did you ever
Chris wasn't even sure you'd know who he was.
Did you ever wonder that... Do you ever wonder, did you ever listen to that song and say, hey, maybe that song's about the sailing trips we took?
I kind of had an outside thought in my mind about that, but, I said, well, I don't know. That could never be. But I said, I remember we had been sailing, so... And that he seemed to, really like to go out like that. So.
And you never tried to contact him.
Well, the reason is that when I heard that song, see what happened. We kind of lost touch. I went in the military and one thing and another, and then when I, didn't think too much about it till Chris won the Grammy Awards. And I said, golly, I know that guy.
Right.
We've been out on the sailboat and everything. And
because when you saw him, probably when you heard the song, you didn't know it was him.
Right. But
you thought, like me, it was a good-looking guy.
Come on, Robin. Don't ruin the moment.
But Robin, you guys,
Chris is fine.
Famous like that, all of a sudden you have all these friends, and I didn't want to appear to be, I thought, well, I'll try to contact him. I said, well, this is like, I just got a swimming pool. Look at all the new friends I got,
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't want to seem like,
You're still a good guy.
You didn't want to seem like a guy who was like, hey, man, I'm contacting you now. You owe me or something.
Because, this is like 28 years ago.
Right.
That's like a long time.
So when you heard the song and everything, you were happy for Chris, and you said, hey, because Chris used to have a different last name anyway.
That's right.
And you were like, wow, this is unbelievable. And Chris, I got to tell you something.
Yes, sir.
Now, Al doesn't realize that you never even realized it was about that.
Not at all. I'm actually very excited to hear his voice. I'm trying to be quiet so you guys can have your time. But, no, I told you until a couple months ago I never realized that for some reason when Warner's called and said the album had, gone another step up and they wanted to send me some records to give out, for some reason something just hit me and I said, you know what? I think I know what this tune's about finally after all this time.
Yeah, it's
That's
about...
what I shared with you the other day,
Yeah, it was kind of, and actually Chris got, kind of emotional about it on the air, which is very rare for our show because our show, we were very heartless.
No emotions here.
Yeah. So, Al, so you became a lawyer, right?
Well, not exactly. I studied economics, and now I'm involved with a bunch of computers.
Oh, I see. Okay, because we had no problem tracking down Al, because Chris said, for years I want to track him down. I was gonna go on that show with
Robert
Stack, missing persons. But meanwhile, the name Glasscock is an unusual name. You're from Texas. Your sister's a lawyer, right?
Mom.
Actually,
or your mom?
My mom and dad my dad passed away a number of years ago, but my mom still practices.
Yeah, because, Chris, we found them in 2 seconds. It was like Glasscock and Glasscock law firm.
Located in San Antonio.
In San Antonio.
But you know what, Howard? Obviously that's a little bit embarrassing, but you know what? I called a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I called a friend of mine who's an attorney in L.A., and asked him to try to find Al, because as I recall, Al was going to go to law school. I knew his father was a lawyer. I'd forgotten his mom was, but I knew his father was, and the last I'd heard, because we did lose contact, as Al said, I heard he went to law school, and so I thought, well, maybe he went in with his dad. So I asked a friend of mine who's an attorney in L.A. to go through the bar and try to find him. He's had no luck at all finding him. Now, obviously, you had good luck finding him.
Yeah, it was no problem.
Who found him?
I think we looked up in Yellow Pages.
One of our listeners heard and called me and said, hey, if you look in the San Antonio phone book, there's a Glasscock and Glasscock. I called, and it was his mom.
And you know what the listener's name was? Helen Keller. They figured it out in 2 seconds. But anyway, listen, I don't want to ruin this moment. Chris, you haven't spoken to Al in all these years, and obviously you have a feeling for him. I should allow you to talk to Al at this point.
Thanks, Howard. Al?
You bet. How you doing?
Good, I'm doing fine. It's wonderful to talk to you after all this time.
Yeah, it's amazing how many years it's been.
I know. Well, remember that old screen porch used to be behind your dad's house?
Right.
You guys used to practice out there with your band?
Yeah, and you used to come and listen to us.
Yeah, I used to ride my bike up there, and I pulled up kind of sheepishly, and you invited me in, and I know you're just always very open and very kind to me, and as I said, it's been all this time, wrote this tune, and I always used to wonder what it was about and try to come up with some conclusion, and I was telling Howard that after all these years, a couple months ago, I just finally realized that it was about, my dad and I never really had a real strong bond, never spent any time together, and you were like the big brother I never had. All those times, remember your P1800 Volvo?
Oh, I do, and the best memory I have of us is like I was working on the car, and I got a call from the lady I ended up marrying.
Really?
Really.
She called you about what?
Well, she wanted me to come up to Austin. She was in the university, and she called me up there.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, Howard?
Throw him a few bucks.
Oh, stop
You're
that.
lucky the guy...
Al, you're doing all right.
Al, you should be ask him for 15% of the song.
Howard?
Get in there.
Howard, I'll give him my ex-wife's number. He can call her.
Yeah, that's right. The ex-wife will pay off.
Yeah.
But it was so I guess what you're trying to say, it's true, he was the brother that you never had.
Yeah, I do have older brothers, but you got to realize in my household it was pretty chaotic, and everybody kind of ran for the hills for their own benefit, and everybody kind of looked out for themselves. And I don't know, it was just something. Al was just very open to me, and
he was a friend before anyone would be a friend to you. In other words, he was a friend when you weren't famous. It wasn't someone looking to glom something off you.
Yeah,
Isn't it funny though that Al had a band? And Chris used to go up there and listen to him play, and yet he becomes the great musician.
Yeah, Al, did you realize that Chris had any kind of musical ability?
Well, I knew that he did. At that time, I don't think he was singing a lot, but he was real musically inclined and seemed like, I know he had like several guitars, and he was learning real fast at that stage. And, I could see that he had some talent, but, it's just very few people make it as successful as Chris has.
Well, Al, you sound like a good guy, and it was really nice of you to do that. And you really meant a lot to Chris, because, Chris can't really describe how good you were to him because, I don't know, he's tongue-tied or something.
Hey, Al, you got a song written about you.
Well, no, the song, I think the song speaks for itself, Howard.
Right.
Like I said, these trips, and I don't want to take time on your show, but we did all the trips to Port Aransas. I remember the time I got sunburned real bad, remember, Al?
Yeah.
Down in Rockport. These trips on Lake Travis, these little lakes around Austin, I was younger. I really didn't have the ability to travel or do much and get out. Because Al was older, I was able to go with him. And
That's right. And get away from your father.
Yeah, he just gave me an opportunity to get out and see the world a bit. And also, like I said, just share some time with...
Al, that song was written about you.
Well,
a famous song.
When I heard all this, I was just totally overwhelmed to hear that. I kind of wondered, when I first heard it, because, and of course I immediately bought the album.
Right.
Back then, and
But now you have confirmation. Now you have confirmation.
How many copies did that song sell? Was
Like
that
10
the
million.
biggest hit ever?
It's like 10 million, right?
It was definitely one of them, Rob, and I don't know how many actually, but I know that...
Your ex-wife knows.
Yeah, she has the total
We'll check with her.
I know that when they get these platinum records, I'm definitely going to get one to Al, and I hope to be in San Antonio soon, get together with him, and
all right, real good.
Kick around the memories. But Howard, like I said, I really appreciate you guys putting this together. I was sincere on the show. And
No problem. I think it's kind of cool that you two, that you had that story and everything. You're real open. I'm glad we could track that
I'm glad
down.
you told us, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was sincere. I shared it with you. It's real to me, and I'm just thrilled to finally hook up with Al, because as I said, until just a couple months ago, I never realized what it was about. But Al, it was great to talk to you. Let's get in touch and kick around some memories. Like I said, I'm just thrilled to be able to get in touch with you, and I appreciate everything you gave to me at that time, because it ended up, bringing a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'll put you guys on hold, and I'll just, get some numbers exchange or something. And tomorrow we'll be reuniting Chris and his wife and the lawyer who got her the rights to the song. We're going to try and arrange that for on the air. Every day we'll try to arrange for a different Christopher Cross reunion. But anyway, hey, Al, you sound like a good guy, man. And Chris, as always, thanks for coming on the show.
Howard, you're wonderful. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye, Chris.
Bye, Al. Bye, Chris.
Bye, Robin.
All right, bye-bye. Robin, there you are. I'd like to make a brief statement about what we just heard. Como ustedes saben, soy una persona satírica. Mis comentarios sobre la trágica. Trágica. I think it'd be nice, Robin, if you sent Al a free book.
Go ahead.
Hey, that actually almost bordered on something human.
You know what? This morning we heard from a caller who said you did a lot of good things. Finally, there's some evidence.
Yeah, there you go. There was something good.
He had nothing to back up that statement this morning. Now we do.
Yeah, but Newsday won't put that on the cover of their paper.
But that is news that we reunited Christopher Cross with his childhood mentor.
Really? To who?
I don't know.
Not one person's contacted us. I don't know. I know the Man Boy Love Association is upset because they said that's bad. How could an older guy get together with a younger boy and not abuse him?
Terrible example.
Yeah, terrible example.
What is he trying to do? Make us look bad?
Let's take a break, Robin. Do the news.
But I was going to say, if Lisa Gibbons did something like that, it'd be all over.
Yeah, of course. When I do it, it's ignored. I wonder how everyone's reacting to my statement to the press.
I haven't heard a word, not a peep. Did anybody get it?
No one knows what I said. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle. 97.1 The Eagle. Let's return.
Legendary
to the
Leslie
Howard
West.
Stern Show.
There he is. Still playing as good as ever. And he's 78 years old.
How can he get his fingers to move that fast?
That's right.
There you go.
How old is Leslie? How old is he?
He must be older than Jackie, right?
Yeah, he's probably 50.
He's in his late 40s. Maybe he's 50. I don't know. Looks like he's about
He's got to be older than Jackie, though.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Not too many people are older than Jackie. Rose Kennedy was older than Jackie.
Only one we can verify, though.
All right, very good. Now, have I gotten everything? I mentioned your book's out. I mentioned that you're doing a book signing.
Where's the sign?
Where is the signing?
Brentano's on 5th.
Boy, I wish I could have mine at Brentano's. They wouldn't let me in there. Your fans are much better behaved. The Robin fans. Well, you have a sensitive book. I think some sensitive people will show up.
Yeah, it's going to be on Tuesday.
Very good, Robin. Good for you. Very exciting. As someone who was scarred at an early age as you were.
I wasn't scarred.
Oh, yes, you were. Emotionally.
I don't remember any scarring.
I'm so happy that things turned out right for you, Robin. You took adversity, you turned it into a book, and now your fans can meet you and celebrate your growth through therapy and foot massage and seaweed wraps. Thank you. I love being your pal, you nut.
You nut.
You were crazy when I first met you, but you grew emotionally. You were cuckoo. You even jogged on my face at times, but I don't care because you grew and showed emotional growth. I'm singing to Robin. She's looking at me. It's like a video. She loves it. She loves when I sing. Good for you, Robin.
Well, I'm sitting here reading in the paper today.
Even now you scare Fred. Now that you revealed all your inner thoughts and how you jogged on my face. What are you reading from?
I'm reading the USA Today. Your agent, your super agent, Don Buchwald, says...
Well, he's your super agent, too.
That he finds you a terrifically kind and concerned person.
Oh, that was a quote he gave in response to the Latino community? Yeah, that was great. I saw that on the news. Yeah, well, I pay him 10%. You'd think I was kind, too.
He's very kind to you.
Yeah.
To me.
Want to be kind to return, drop that down to 5%. Yeah. Well, they kept calling him for a quote, and he was just not responding, and then finally...
he finally had to say something.
He was talking to someone. He says, I find him to be very kind. I don't know what everyone's bitching about. I don't know what all these Spanish dudes are upset about. They should be Howard's homie.
I know. See, the thing that most people find fictional in my book is my account of you.
Yes.
As a terrifically kind and
gifted performer.
Person.
Right. That's what people don't realize. That's the shock of your book.
And the other thing people question is that I dub you a genius.
Yeah, well,
They have a question about that.
Yeah, you throw that word around a little too easily.
No, I don't.
Who else? There's very few geniuses in this world, and Robin points out that I'm one. You know what? Thank God for you, because no one else points out that I'm a genius.
Of course, my opinion has no weight.
The other genius in her book is Muhammad Ali.
I didn't say Muhammad Ali.
Thank you. I appreciate
He's a hero.
that.
He's
Yes.
not necessarily a genius.
You're correct. Again, in your book, you point out I'm a genius, and I love you for that. Even through the adversity when you were a mental case, I knew that you would see the light and point out that I was a genius.
Hey, that's why you are a genius. You knew that I'd get better.
That's right. I knew that one day you'd be the perfect sidekick. And everything worked out fine. Your mother was an enabler. Your father was abusive. But here you are. To say that I'm a genius and to write about it. Therefore, you've conquered all your demons, haven't you?
That's right.
What a great day, and what a celebration it will be at Brentano's when you come together with your fans. Now your cans and your demons are smaller, which you go into in your book. Your decision to get breast augmentation was based on...
Breast reduction.
Reduction, I am sorry. If you correct me, please sing. You've overcome adversity, Robin Quivers, and you've lived to write about it. Yes, there were suicide thoughts, but I don't think really.
You are ridiculous.
Now you can search for a husband in peace, without the demons. Thank you.
Goodbye, Demon.
What a happy day it'll be at Brentano's. It really will be almost your crowning achievement. Your coming out party. The new Robin. We'll get to visit with the new Robin. The old one thrown aside. This is like an Andrew Lloyd Webber play.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could make a play of my life.
I'm working on it. I didn't want to tell you until it's done. Here you are, rejoicing at Brentano's, at your coming out party. I wonder what you'll wear. I hope it's a fawn. What will you wear at Brentano's? Will you wear something enticing? Will you wear cleavage?
I haven't really thought about it.
Something low cut, I hope.
We're having a meeting today. Not today.
About what you wear?
Planning session.
Really?
We want to do something special.
You could moon. What can you do that's special?
I don't know. That's why we're having a meeting.
Oh, tell me you don't need something special. Sit there and sign the book. Something special. Yeah, I want to hear what they come up with.
For you.
Right. If they're calling you into the meeting, that means they don't have a clue what to do. Why don't you wear a tiara?
Well, that's a possibility.
That would be special.
Why
Would you like
don't
to
buy
see
me one? I want something
All right.
real.
Would you wear it if I bring it?
Oh, absolutely. You can crown me.
All right.
Have a coronation ceremony.
Robin's going to do the news, by the way.
Yes, I still do that.
Yeah.
Even though I'm an author.
But tonight at 11 p.m., also see Elephant Boy, who gets speech therapy.
Yes.
And it's a pretty good show. And also bonus footage of Elephant Boy's bar mitzvah.
Oh, I don't want to blow anything for anybody, but these are really wonderful pictures. I never knew what Elephant Boy looked like.
Or his family.
Yeah, so you get to see everything.
Yeah, it's very lovely. Very lovely family.
Bar mitzvahs must be frightening things.
Yeah. I'll say. I had a bar mitzvah.
I have to go through that again, I'll bet.
My father was Jewish, so my mother was Latino. And that's true, but...
Did you have to wear that big, long...
that's the irony of this. That I'm being considered anti-Latino. My mother's Latin.
You never disclosed before.
My mother's Puerto Rican.
What's your middle name?
What?
What's your middle name?
Hector.
Yeah, see, you never told anybody. You're Howard Hector Stern.
Yeah. That's the irony of all this. My mother called me. She was like, "Oh, mis sabios de pesca la cocina." I was screaming and yelling. She was screaming about her fishing gear was in the kitchen. Yeah, it's terrible. But,
So do you want to ask me any question now, or do you want to save your questions for
save
later?
them. If the day of the book signing.
Oh.
I had to think of some questions.
You told me at one time you had a list of 20. Now they're all gone.
I lied. I brought them up already.
You did?
Of course. I've been bringing everything up on there. When I think of something, I bring it up.
You told me you weren't going to do that.
Oh, I am. No, I got questions. I actually do have questions for you.
I don't think
And
you
so
can
does Gary.
remember them.
I can't.
That's what it is.
I got to go back and read the book again. All right, come on, let's do some news.
Very well, Howard. There are some interesting things to point out.
Want me to bring in a tape of my me singing my bar mitzvah song?
You have that?
Yeah, I do.
I would love to hear that.
I would like to play that for you. I looked like a big homo standing up there, and you know that's the age.
You see, that was the thing. Elephant Boy had this long white thing with
the
fringe
tallis.
on the bottom.
Tallis, that's called.
That's a tallis?
Yeah, I think so. I'm more Spanish than I am Jewish.
His was almost dragging the floor. Was yours that long?
I don't remember. But
Very strange.
I just remember being really embarrassed,
Yeah.
standing up there in front of my friends singing, and then my girlfriend walked. My first girlfriend, this girl Irene, who was really cute, and I invited her, and I'm up there singing, and I had her, sing like this.
Real high voice.
Yeah, my voice hadn't changed yet. You know, it's not the coolest thing in the world.
Why did they put you through it?
The Hebraic language isn't a real turn on to women.
Those songs are so lovely.
Yeah, those songs have some tune. I don't know, but that's a real awkward age, you know, like you're 13 and you're starting to get some hairs.
And your voice is usually cracking.
Yeah, and I remember the worst part was I was like 13 and I'm a guy, and I'd answer the phone at my house. I'd be like, hello. And people would go, Ray. My mother's name is Ray, which is short for Raymunda. So,
Recita.
Recita, that's right. And they would think it was my mom. Felt like a real dick. That's totally emasculating. Like, hello? Ray, is that you? No, this is her son, Howard.
This is squeaky.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Put your mom on the phone.
You're so cute.
Sounds just like a girl. I thought it was Ray. You sound like your mother. That's what they would say. What? No, just like, you sound like your mother.
So what happened when your voice changed? Would they comment on it? Oh, finally.
I don't know. It took forever. I remember being very traumatic that it hadn't changed yet. I told you I was like really shocked that my penis hadn't grown by the time I was 13.
And it never did.
No, short already at 13, and we were at summer camp.
Yeah.
And I said, Lou, I got to talk to you. And he already was shaving. He had a full beard. He was very early mature.
13, he's shaving.
He was the only kid that I knew of that. He looked like a 25-year-old man.
Wow.
That's why chicks dug him. He was shaving, and he had full hair on his chest and a pubic area and a very beautiful genitalia.
Oh. You thought he looked nice.
Very nicely grown.
Well turned out.
Yeah, and I mean, I said to him, I go, dude, what's going on with me? He goes, what do you mean? I go, it's not growing. I go, when will it grow? I swear to you, he'll tell you. We had this conversation. He goes, let me see what's doing. I pulled down my pants. He was like a doctor even then.
Right, in his medical capacity.
Yeah. Takes a look at me. He's like, you know. And, like, you know, he's hanging left. I'm hanging horizontal. You know.
You're not hanging.
Yeah, I'm not even doing anything. So he looks at it because it's like looking like I had a baby when you pull down my diaper. So he goes, oh, man. He goes, you know, he laughed and stuff. And he saw I felt bad. And I remember he said to me, don't worry, of course it's going to grow. He says, you just haven't hit that, you know, he says, I hit it early. Of course it's going to grow.
Right. He tried to...
Yeah, make me feel better.
Help you out.
And he said, he promised me, he says, Howard, don't lose any sleep over it. I promise you it's going to grow.
Well, have you shown it to him lately?
No.
Because I want to know what he'd say.
He might have seen it like when I was around 16 or 17 because we continued to go to camp together. We worked at the camp. I was a dishwasher. And so was he.
Yeah.
We were earning extra money. You know, $2 a day. And then he might have seen it when I was in the shower or something. I think he realized that his advice was bogus. But at least I got some sleep that summer. But I remember I was in a panic. I said, I can't believe this. Nothing's growing. It's got to grow. And by the time you can realize that it's not growing, it's too late already. If it hasn't grown by then, it's over.
Well, you can't do anything about it anyway.
No, it's a real handicap. I have handicap license plates. A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, let me go on. There were a couple of things I wanted to point out to you, Howard. First of all, do you notice that Bruce Springsteen did the Letterman show
and nobody cared?
Not only, but it's not that nobody cared, but look who he's surrounding himself with. The E Street Band
yeah, I know.
back together.
Well, I remember I read in the paper like 2 days ago that it was rumored that Dave was going to have Bruce Springsteen on. And I was like, well, now that he can get him on, who cares?
Yeah, that's not a rumor.
Yeah, 5 years ago, that was a big deal.
The rumor is that Bruce Springsteen's still around.
I mean, quite frankly, I think Bruce Springsteen was playing the subway the other day with Carly Simon. Carly Simon was out playing the subway. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, she put on some subway concert. She was like dancing around for people. Did you see that in the paper?
It's not in the paper.
Yeah, right.
At a stage.
Yeah, I'm not crazy, am I?
Not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sunday, I think.
Believe me, Bruce Springsteen's going to be playing the subway next week.
He's going to be following her, huh?
Yeah. I know they were trying to make a big deal because it's Dave's favorite.
Right.
But, you know, I don't think anybody really cared. I didn't see. Oh, I don't know what the ratings were, but.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what people would care about. If they tuned in Letterman, and at the front of the show, 2 segments with me, with us sitting in beanbag chairs, and me interviewing him about the Oscar fiasco.
That would be news.
Yeah, that's news.
With his first wife.
And no top 10.
Being real.
Yeah, being real. Dave answering my questions. Oh, boy. I've offered to do it. They've called back and said they want me on, but I don't think...
They heard you wanted to be on.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to go for that. If they want to go for that, I would like to do that.
Are you going to talk to Morty?
No, I don't talk to Morty anymore. I let my agent talk to Morty. Morty wants to...
Is he going to relay to them what you want to do?
Who?
Your agent.
No, he don't want me going on there anyway.
Oh.
So I got to talk to my agent and convince him. He don't want me going on there.
So this isn't going to be happening tomorrow night?
I think my agent thinks I should just do Leno.
Oh, he's anti-Dave, huh?
Well, he feels that every time I go on there, Dave works against me. He doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
And that Leno lets me do my thing.
Well, he's right.
So.
In London, a painting created by naked female models dragging their paint-smeared bodies across a canvas could fetch up to $1.3 million, according to auctioneers at Christie's.
Let me get this straight. You're saying... I never know with you anymore if you know what you're saying. I got to check since I read your book.
I'm okay, Howard.
Really? Okay, you're with us.
The time to worry was before.
All right. So what you're saying is, all right, because you know you have perceptual problems.
I don't have a reading problem. I have a perception.
Yeah, but you have a perception problem. If you're telling me that a bunch of models rolled around on a canvas naked with some paint, and
well,
it's worth
it's not that simple. An artist told them where to roll or drag themselves.
Well, that's different. You didn't say that.
His name was Yves Klein.
Is he Latino?
La Grande Bataille is the painting.
La Grande Bataille?
Yeah. French.
That's
French
Latin,
artist.
I think.
And he had these three models drag themselves or each other across a canvas in a live performance as he conducted their movements.
They did movements?
Sale. Oh, stop it.
Les Piece Echap, they should call it.
It'll go on sale in London.
Is my greatest work. Drag her over there. No, over there. No, more brin pint. Oh, that's not pint.
Hey, maybe I'll do that on Letterman.
Yeah, this is art.
I'll have Dave roll me around in paint, naked.
Klein died in 1962 at the age of 34.
Les Jew.
He began using models' bodies as human brushes in 1960.
I'd like to paint with Paul Schaefer's head. No kidding. So he started to do this, and now it's worth $1.3 million. I could do
They
that.
could get that much for one painting.
Why don't we get Carol Alt up here and roll her around in some paint, and we'll split the profits with her?
I need a famous model.
Oh, not a broke one? I heard the other day. Did you see that in the paper that Carol Alt and Gretsch are having a problem? They say some advisor of theirs did something to their money.
Yeah, took some money from him.
I thought Gretsch's job was watching the money.
Yeah, that's some job. He's a hockey player. I wouldn't leave a hockey player in charge of my money. Yeah, Gretsch was up here telling me, the great Ron Greshner, who was a great hockey player.
Yeah.
But he says to me, I'm in charge of the business now, and I have my own successful business. And Next thing I know, I'm reading in the newspaper how the great businessman lost some of the money.
Yeah. I feel bad for him.
I let him play on my hockey team. I don't know if I'd make him my accountant. Let's take a break, Robin, and do some more news.
Okay, come back and talk about the O.J. trial.
Yeah, and you can get naked so I can roll you around in the paint.
Yeah. You're listening to the Kaiser of Radio, Howard Stern, 97.1, The Eagle. This is 97.1, The Eagle.
This is Roseanne. You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. It's great. I love it.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Always makes me laugh.
I got to remember that for when, somebody asks me to do something that I don't want to do.
Yeah. Blur it out.
Hi, this is Howard Stern. I bought every one of Jackie's CDs.
I love it.
I love it.
It's the best endorsement you ever gave.
Thank you. Anyway, where were we?
We're now in the O.J. trial. They have dismissed another juror.
It's been a bad day today.
A 38-year-old black woman became the sixth juror to be dismissed in the last 3 months. It was found out that she had misrepresented her past exposure to domestic violence, so they tossed her. The new juror is a single black woman, 44, who is a computer technician.
And part-time songwriter. Did you hear they might have to dismiss her already?
No.
She wrote this song. Listen to this. You got to hear this. It's unbelievable that she wrote this. Okay. What? This is unbelievable that she wrote this.
Guilty of murder. No doubt. Guilty of murder. him guilty. One day I was high on speed and killed Nicole.
Enough of that.
All right.
So the racial makeup of the jury does not change, Howard. There are 8 blacks, 3 whites, and 1 Hispanic.
Oh, there are 3 whites?
That's what it says here.
You sure they're white? I don't know. Wasn't there 1 white? Now there's 3 whites?
They multiply overnight.
And what happened to that guy that they couldn't figure out what he was?
I guess they're labeling him Hispanic now.
Oh, they are?
No, he's gone.
Oh, they fired. That's the one they fired, right?
Oh, he was one of the ones that got booted because he was
the weirdo.
investigating.
He
Right.
was writing a book.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. So he was, I guess, replaced by one of these white or Hispanic people. I don't know.
I see.
The defense team is concerned that they might not be able to hold on to this jury of 12 for the entire length of this trial, and it could result in a mistrial because they probably would not agree to having some number less than 12 here.
If I was them,
To the end.
I would hold on for that jury, man. That's some super jury. They got it. The woman they just released, she had some comments to make. Tell them the comments.
Yes, this woman, Jeanette Harris, who was released, said that she thought that Johnny Cochran was eloquent and commanding, just to really could control the courtroom when he was talking and really had a good grasp on this case. She thought that O.J. should be, she felt sorry for O.J., actually.
Felt sorry for
Yeah.
him. He's handsome.
And she also said that Marcia Clark was a woman trying to do a job and was doing the best she could at it. Christopher Darden, however, is confusing. She doesn't understand what he's up to.
God only knows what's going on in the other sisters' heads. What is it now, 5 young black ladies? No, that's right now. It's 6 again. Oh, boy.
There are reports
I see no proof that Nicole was ever killed.
Listen to this.
She's probably running around right now with O.J.'s money.
There are also reports that another guy might be kicked off the jury because he's sleeping in the courtroom.
But can you blame him? What's the point in trying to come up with a decent verdict? Those 6 sisters, they ain't gonna... That Johnny Cochran. I like to... Oh, my. Now, there's a man who's looking straight at me, proud as can be, proud as a butterfly.
Great role model.
Great role model for the black youth. Mm-hmm. And all these white people, they say we can't be lawyers and we can't make it. But take a look at that proud brother, handling himself so fine, and Marcia Clark all dizzy. She's dizzy because Johnny's in the room. Johnny's so handsome. She want to sleep with him, I bet. But he won't. He's married to a black woman. They don't know about 6 families he got, or whatever, how many families he got.
Well, she also said that she thought that there was going to be a hung jury because there were
Look at
racial
Johnny's
tensions
pants
in the jury room, and some of the black jurors are leaning toward guilty verdicts for O.J. Meanwhile, every day after the session is ended for the day, before Judge Ito releases the jury to be taken back to the hotel where they're sequestered, he admonishes them not to discuss the case.
Sure. They're discussing it.
Sure. Sounds
Look at
like
the lump in that Johnny Cochran's pants.
He's so debonair.
Debonair and driving a Mercedes and got a house and everything. That's a man. That's a man. That's a man, goddammit. Hot. Smoking. He drives a fine car. He wears good clothes. He got a mustache that is groomed. Every man, white, black, Latino, anyone should groom their mustache like Johnny Cochran. And look at his musculature.
Do you notice that the lawyers in the courtroom, at least on the O.J. Simpson team, are all sitting in different chairs now?
Yeah, I said O.J. now is practically an attorney. He's now almost in the attorney's chair. And soon I see he's going to be standing at the podium.
No. That's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
Robert Shapiro, one of the attorneys in the case, complained to Judge Ito last month that he had a bad back and the chair was bothering him.
Oh, the different chairs, yeah.
He needed a specially designed chair, and a salesman for body-built seating came into the courtroom to show Shapiro a $1,500 chair. He started sitting in that, and the next thing you know, everybody got a new chair on loan from the Texas company. Judge Ito keeps his in his chambers. O.J. isn't using one because they don't want it to look like he gets special privileges or different treatment than other defendants would.
Look at that. That Shapiro's a fine man. O.J. is smart to hang. Those Jews get free chairs. Always. They should lock O.J. in a cage. Then they would really feel bad for him. See, they're not playing it up enough. O.J. every day should be coming shackled.
Yeah. That's what they do in some European courts. The defendant is always in a cage.
Yeah, that helps. With this jury, they would be, look at that. The cage in here, man. They only do that to black people. So wrong. If that was a white man sitting there, he wouldn't be in no cage. They should request that they put O.J. in a cage. He'll get off. Yeah, striped suit, O.J. in a cage, whip him and stuff.
Meanwhile, they spent all that time working on Mark Furman, making sure he'd do well as a witness. They should have been working on Dennis Fung.
Yeah,
he is turning out to be the world's worst witness for the prosecution.
He seems kind of slow.
Yes, he does. And when he does answer, it's devastating.
Yeah, right.
Here's a little bit of his testimony yesterday. He was being cross-examined by defense attorney Barry Scheck.
As a general principle as a criminalist, you try at all costs to avoid taking an object that could have lots of hairs and fibers on it and putting it right into the middle of a crime scene, don't you?
That's correct.
That's a terrible mistake from the point of view of a criminalist, isn't it?
Yes.
And they were talking about a blanket that was brought from Nicole's house after the bodies were discovered. A police officer, in an effort to show a little taste and concern for the dead, brought a blanket from the house and threw it over the bodies.
Yeah.
Which could contaminate the crime scene.
Yeah, and you know what? Big deal. What do you think? There was blood all over the blanket? That's what they were talking about.
They also showed a videotape in court yesterday that showed the glove that was left at the crime scene on top of the blanket after the bodies had been removed.
Yeah.
So that shows that they were sort of moving around evidence before they completed the investigation.
It shows O.J.'s innocent.
I'm just telling you that this is, what the defense is going... One of the things the defense is going to contend is that there were sloppy procedures used.
Yeah, I know they're going to contend that.
Collection of evidence.
Right. So what?
And this is...
So he should go free?
Testimony to that fact.
Yeah. So with all the sloppy work that they did, they put a blanket down because the woman's head was almost completely off her body. And with all the sloppy work they did, O.J.'s blood is still all over that scene.
Well, all I've got to say
it was on the blanket.
That you have to convict a man beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, then maybe we should...
They can introduce doubt into the jury's mind because
that's already been done.
Evidence was collected. O.J. goes free.
Yeah. So free O.J. and lock up this guy Fung. Someone's got to go to jail for this. I don't care who it is.
I didn't think that Fung would be the weakest link in this case, but he's turning out to be pretty bad. And if that medical examiner is bad, too, they might as well throw in the towel.
No. Yeah, you're dreaming. Listen, in every case, what do you think? The police are geniuses at this? They have all kinds of things.
Who's going to be if they're not?
No one. Listen.
This is a criminalist.
Yeah, but America, first of all, let me explain something to you.
They go to crime
Hold it. Stop for a second. Criminalists, if they had a laboratory setting and all perfect, where there weren't two bodies laying in the sidewalk there with their heads cut off and you could have them, they would do a certain type of investigation. These investigations are done under duress. I mean, they got cameramen all over the place. You got a certain amount of time to get this evidence collected, and the main thrust of the examination is, let's get this blood and find out whose blood is here. We're lucky. We got a couple of drops leading away from the scene. Obviously, somebody left this scene.
Howard, I think you're jumping ahead a little bit, because before those guys got there to say that, the guy was throwing blankets on them.
Whatever. So there's blankets. Okay, there's a blanket. Admitted. There's a blanket. Terribly. Shouldn't have a blanket. Guy sees a woman and a guy with their heads cut off and people staring at him, and he puts a blanket over because, and also they got to get these kids out of the house. They don't want to see mommy with her head chopped off.
There's another door.
Yeah, there's doors. So, all right. They cover him up. They don't want to show the National Enquirer, the front page, mommy with her head chopped off. They throw this blanket on. Okay. Granted. Let's assume that all of O.J.'s hairs are all over this blanket somehow. His pubic hairs, his head on his hair, everything, everywhere there's hair. They collected blood. And whose blood is there? The O.J. That's it. Good night.
Yes, but if you can tell the jury, look, these people were reckless in their collection of evidence. This is not valid evidence because these specimens were not handled properly when they were taken.
I don't care if goats and rabbits climbed over O.J.'s blood. If O.J.'s blood is there, it's there.
How do you know it's O.J.'s blood?
Because it's a match-up on the DNA. Yeah. Somehow made a mistake and matched O.J.'s. Out of all the people in the universe.
I'm just making the argument for the defense, and this is what the jury's going to hear.
No, the jury's going to see Johnny in a good suit. I'm going to go, he is so right.
What blood? But this is why I'm saying it's very important to have everything done properly.
Well, there is never going to be...
the second day Dennis Fung has fumbled in front of the defense.
Dennis Fung doesn't know how to handle himself. That's the problem.
And I'm wondering why Marcia Clark wasn't prepared. Didn't she know this stuff? The prosecution seemed genuinely surprised at this video they introduced yesterday. And Dennis Fung has become a worse witness every day he's been on the stand.
Well, listen, when you got a guy who doesn't know how to handle a question, like if you ask me a question, you say, isn't that the worst thing that could happen? The blanket being on top of that, I would have turned to him and said, no, it's not the worst thing. You're telling me that's not the worst thing? Like, no, it's not the worst thing. It happens. It happens. Right.
But he says yes.
There's something wrong with this guy. He doesn't know how to answer. Of course they rehearsed this guy 900 times. He's out of it.
He's trying to blow this case.
He's blowing the case.
Meanwhile, in Inside New York today, they're asking questions. Where are friends A.C. Cowlings and the Reverend Rosie Greer in the courtroom? They've only made one appearance since the trial started.
Well, I'm sure that they would like to be there. But I think they've probably determined it's better not to have A.C. and Rosie there. Let them stay home and write their books.
Only the family is going to see O.J. in jail. They are the only visitors.
The O.J.
To him when, he's sitting in his cell.
So based on, let's ask the Magic O.J. 8-ball.
They say none of his golfing buddies and card-playing buddies have shown up.
Yeah, they're over my house playing cards.
Support for O.J. so far.
Didn't Michael Jackson say he wanted to take care of O.J.'s kids?
Oh, no. Yes, he did.
Right, maybe.
Oh. What, Jackie, are you stepping up?
Look out. So, instead of looking at those retarded cats, you could take care of some kids. All right, here he is. O.J. Magic 8-ball. In light of the new evidence that, not evidence, but the testimony of Fung, will O.J. get off? It happens. It happens, see?
I must say, Dennis Fung is cute. He just can't answer a question.
And he's hairless. And I mean hairless.
Why do you say that?
Japanese guys are all hairless.
Is that right?
What is he, Chinese or Japanese?
I don't know.
Japanese American or Chinese American?
I just know he's cute. He's a cute American.
Senator D'Amato does a good impression of Fung.
Speaking of Senator D'Amato, he issued a 2-line statement yesterday.
In Spanish?
No, because his problem was with Asian Americans and Japanese Americans.
So he should have done it in Japanese.
By his imitation of a stereotypical Asian person when he was doing another radio show.
It's only because he did another radio show that isn't funny. And the host of it, I don't know when the jokes are supposed to happen, so Senator D'Amato got pressured into trying to be funny.
Yes, and that's not his expertise.
Right, he's not a comedian.
Immediately got into trouble. So here is, the head of some Japanese-American organization.
I was just hoping that D'Amato's comments would have knocked me out of the news with my, this Latino controversy I'm in.
No, it doesn't help you at all.
I went on, they had me on the news before D'Amato. I was shocked. I was like, well, wait a second. He's a United States Senator. Shouldn't he go first?
Okay, this is Norman Mineta, a Democrat from California. He's a congressman and a Japanese American. He's responding to Al D'Amato's comments and his apology.
This might be the tape. I'm not sure.
It should be the second one.
Okay.
Frankly, it just bothers me to have to listen to a stupid U.S. senator from New York who makes this kind of a remark.
No one would have even heard it, you know.
I don't know what we
Nobody
as
had.
Americans of Japanese ancestry have to be able to do to be able to prove that we are Americans.
Oh, no one's saying you're not an American.
So he's really angry at Al D'Amato.
By the way, Al D'Amato is going to call in tomorrow and do an impression of Johnny Cochran. It's killer. I mean, dead on. So, he did it for me. Hello there. This am Johnny Cochran. Now, listen, he shouldn't do that show. I told him that. Because you know what? That jackass Imus never gets any publicity, so he took the tape and he gave it to all the media.
Yeah.
That's what he did, and he kept running it in promos.
He caused an uproar
Yeah.
and people heard it, so he made sure to send it out.
He knows nobody listens. Yeah, nobody listens to his show. He interviews politicians.
Got Al into all that trouble. He now has to make 2-line statements to the press. Can't talk to anybody.
In Japanese.
Lay low for a while.
Let's ask the magic Arnold Schwarzenegger 8-ball.
No.
If Senator Al D'Amato will be cleared and forgiven by the Japanese community.
More now than ever before.
All right.
So he has nothing to worry
He has nothing to worry about. Arnold says no problem.
Michael Jordan once again proving that he is the man.
Yes, he is the man.
He's all that they wrote.
And more.
He helped the Bulls beat the Nets last night.
I liked him better when he played baseball.
Yeah, when he wasn't so
So full of himself.
invincible. He was shooting and he wasn't, he wasn't doing very well. So then he said, well, I just shot until it started to come. And then it did, and he scored 37 points to help them win, 108-101. He's just good at this game. In Cindy's column today, she says that Jermaine Jackson just got married, but he didn't tell anybody in his family. The marriage occurred on March 18th, and the family didn't find out about it until last weekend or something. He married this woman called Alejandra.
Lucky him.
And Alejandra, yeah, she wasn't hard to find because she was the live-in love of his brother, Randy. So all of them were living in the parents' house in Encino, and Randy and Alejandro were living together in the house, and Jermaine's in the house somewhere in another room.
And he fell in love with his brother's wife?
He fell in love with the brother's
girlfriend. I see.
Even though, she's living with Randy. She has 2 illegitimate kids by Randy.
Boy, that's some wild house. These guys all live with their parents.
Yeah,
and their girlfriends and kids. And
he's married to Randy's girl, and Randy's fighting the girl for custody of the kids.
all the Jacksons that don't make it as singers,
Yeah.
they have to live with the parents.
They just stay home.
And I guess Michael Jackson gives money or something.
And keeps them going.
Keeps them going.
Yeah. So there you have it. More shenanigans at the Jackson house.
Let's ask the Jan Michael Vincent 8-ball if this marriage will last. Yeah. That was the OJ 8-ball.
Oh.
Sorry. Jan Michael Vincent 8-ball, will that marriage last? Huh? I got to take a break. Do I have to take a break? Yeah, then we'll finish up the news and we'll get out of here. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
Sunday money is bad for the soul, bad for the rock, bad for the roll.
This weekend, it's a tax preparation weekend on 97.1 The Eagle. We'll tell you when to call in and win your Eagle Tax Prep Survival Kit. A tax preparation weekend. We'll give you free tax preparation by Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. A tube of Preparation H. Everyone knows what a pain in the ass taxes can be. We'll give you flowers and a big Hershey's kiss. Because everyone likes flowers and a kiss before they get screwed.
Wow, I can use money.
Flowers provided by 1-800-Flowers. A tax preparation weekend.
Come on, let's seal it with a kiss.
97.1, The Eagle.
KGL Fort Worth, Dallas, Howard, Harley's, and Pure Rock. 97.1, The Eagle. You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Any questions in the news for the Cato 8-ball?
Well, Cato's going to be on the Larry King show tonight.
Will Cato's performance, Cato Magic 8-ball, go well on the Larry King show tonight?
I've heard that before, so I never, gave it much, oh, it's over again, or not, because it got back and forth. It was back and forth.
Will Larry King ask Cato to marry him? Magic Cato 8-ball, because that could happen, Robin.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I just find it very interesting that Larry King thinks it's fine to have Cato Kalin on his show.
Sure.
And he hates you.
Yeah. Well, he hates me because I hate him. That's the only reason he hates me.
It's just interesting to me who people will buddy up with.
I hate the way every time there's a different sort of, person sitting on that stand, they run to do the Larry King show. And this Larry King will put on anybody. I mean, there's no shame. He doesn't, and don't be
He's very
fooled.
excited about Cato, though.
Yeah. Excited.
First live interview.
Cato. I hope our fans don't call in and bother Larry during the first live interview with Cato Kalin. Let me ask the Magic Cato 8-ball. Will our fans call in to Larry King during the live interview?
I can't be positive.
He has no answer for anything, that Cato.
Why do we even ask him anything?
I should have asked the Arnold Schwarzenegger 8-ball. Arnold Schwarzenegger 8-ball, will our fans call in during the Larry King thing?
I don't know.
No one knows. I know what 8-ball will know, the Jan Michael Vincent 8-ball.
Oh.
Jan Michael, will our fans call in during this interview?
Well, I don't think it's going to work out.
Oh.
Got it. But.
Oh, he's not done.
Now he is. All right, Robin, go ahead.
Look at this. You're going to get so upset. The French are at it again.
Oh, are they after me?
No.
Oh, good. All right. Just the Latinos?
No. Yes, your only problem is Latinos this week.
Don't the Latinos comprise about 50% of the world or something?
I don't know.
Oh. Or maybe that's the Chinese.
Yeah, it seems to be there's more of them, don't you think?
Because I know they have the Filipinos after me and the Latinos. That's got to be a lot of people.
But the French will be after you hear this.
Go ahead.
The French have now, there's that deal that they're trying to make Europe like one whole economic group.
Same kind of money.
Yeah, so all of the European countries will have one common market, and they'll be, they'll have one common currency, and they'll have the same trade rules, and there'll be easier trade rules between the different European states as opposed to all having tariffs and barriers to each other. Well, the French had already gotten upset with Americans because we are exporting so many movies and TV shows.
Yeah, we should not allow them to have our movies and TV shows. I'm telling you, those French couldn't produce a good movie if they had to.
And they noticed that 70% of the movie tickets sold in France were for U.S.-made films.
Yeah, we shouldn't allow them to have them.
Jerry Lewis was wildly popular there.
Yeah, good.
I can understand getting upset about that.
Let him have Jerry Lewis.
Now Woody Allen has taken Jerry's place.
Right. Another genius.
And Jurassic Park was a smash success there.
Right. It's always weird what's a success in France.
But France has this elite group of people. They don't like what the people go to see in France.
Right.
They want to tell the French what they should and shouldn't do, so they get involved with the government and they decide...
They want to preserve that cowardly French culture.
That they've got to somehow stop this English and this American culture from infiltrating to such a great degree.
Good. I'm for that. I don't want our movies over there. I don't want anything to do with France.
They even started to subsidize French films. They started pouring money into French films, but they don't go anywhere.
Right.
So then they get all upset because their films aren't good, and they start imposing quotas on U.S. products.
Right. That's good.
So now they want to set up a strict quota limiting the number of American films and television programs that can be shown not only in France, but in all 15 countries of the European Union.
We should pull everything out of France. We should get, first of all, Euro Disney out of there. We gave them the greatest gift you could give a country. We gave them a Disney World that all Europeans could come to. The French have tried to sabotage Euro Disney. It's employing French people, and they're trying to sabotage it. They don't like it because it's American. I say pull everything out of France. They never did a damn thing for us. World War II, they produced more. Once they were conquered by the Nazis, they produced for the Nazis better than they produced when they were free people. They didn't even have a work slowdown.
But now they've gotten Germany and Great Britain to go along with them.
We shouldn't allow them to see our great American films. The one thing that Americans make that is unbelievable is films. I say today, the film industry says we do not allow any of our films to go to England, France, or Germany at all. There will be a revolt in that country. Do you know that's the only thing that will get those people out of their homes and out of their berets and into the streets and marching? Absolutely, I'm for that.
Well, I have to thank Erwin M. Stelzer for giving us this information.
Thank you, Erwin. Who the hell is Erwin M. Stelzer?
He's a writer. He's in the
Good for him.
today.
He's super, that guy. I'm a big fan of his.
Jolie Fisher, the daughter of Connie Stevens and Eddie Fisher, and also a regular on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Who she look like, Eddie Fisher or Connie Stevens?
I understand she's rather attractive.
Yeah, all right, good for her.
So anyway, she's going to be in Grease, the Broadway play. She's going to play the musical Rizzo, the role now being held by Brooke Shields. Shields is leaving to work in a movie.
Oh, that's such a waste. That's horrible. Oh, I didn't know that.
So Jolie Fisher is going to take her place. They'd already announced that John Cicada, the musical star, will replace Adrian Zmed as Danny Zuko.
Oh, that's a shame. Adrian Zmed's a big talent.
17th.
If you lose Zmed and Brooke Shields, how can that play go on? Brooke Shields has a movie to do?
Yeah.
Wow. What movie is that?
I don't know. Al Franken now weighing in with his opinions as to why Saturday Night Live is not doing very well.
How would Al Franken know? He's part of Saturday Night Live. He's the reason.
He says...
Al Franken's the reason Saturday Night Live isn't doing well.
Then he's right. Then the writing is weak.
And he's one of the writers, isn't he?
Yes.
You know what it's called now? Everyone who works on Saturday Night Live, they come out and they bash Saturday Night Live. And they all, like that Adam Sandler's like, I don't know, man. The writing sucks. He says he didn't say it. The writing sucks. The this sucks. The that sucks. But you're on the show. Why don't you write something?
Yeah, why go out and complain?
Yeah.
It's like the cameraman saying it's out of focus.
Right. Al Franken saying the writing's no good. Well,
he
do
says
something.
The 15-member cast is too big, and the performers don't have the talent to do a whole bunch of different things.
Well, that should make it real comfortable to go back and work with those people. And Al Franken has the talent?
You have to ask him.
We'll see how his movie does.
Yeah, he was out promoting this new movie. Stuart Smalley Saves the Family.
They were talking about how every time there's a sketch now written, Lorne Michaels is quick to throw into production and make a movie out of it. And the one that worked out was Wayne's World, and that movie actually sucked, but a lot of people went to see it.
Yeah, it made a lot of money.
So the sequel bombed because the first one sucked so bad. And ever since Wayne's World, all of these Saturday Night Live movies have come out and basically done poorly. They haven't made money.
But they keep making them.
Yeah, well, now they're saying they're going to stop because they're going to concentrate on Saturday Night Live, making that funny. But what happens is they do a sketch, and all these guys run off, and they're making a movie out of a sketch. And there's no premise. I mean, there's just nothing.
I used to love the Coneheads, and they were ruined
by
that movie.
Yeah. They don't know what to do over there, and I don't know. Who even cares?
Geraldo's unveiling a new set. You want to check that out.
And somebody told me Geraldo went and visited Judge Ito. Do you know about this?
No.
Supposedly he did a Larry King and went into Judge Ito's chambers and had a confidential discussion with Judge Ito.
Oh,
I don't know. If anyone knows about that, Gary, see if you can get Geraldo. I want to talk to him about that.
Anyway, he spent about $500,000 on the new set, graphics, and a new theme song. So we'll have to see what Geraldo's been up to. It'll debut tomorrow.
Do you have it?
No.
Here's the theme song. This is the new theme song?
What are they going to do when they have a serious topic?
That's pretty good, though, because that's kind of fun music, but also serious at the same time. I believe that's butt flute. Oh, this is the part that I like. Geraldo Show. Watch the Geraldo Show. You don't want to know how this guy recorded this. Trust me. Thank you.
Go on.
All right, go ahead.
Is convinced that baseball's exemption from the antitrust laws was an accident, it was a mistake, and even though the strike is now over and the teams are back on the field and we have another edition of spring training and a shortened season to look forward to, something should be done about the antitrust exemption given to baseball owners.
Of course.
So here is the senator to say the bill that they have been considering in Congress should remain on the floor and they should press on with changing that exemption.
Oops, wrong one.
Whether there is a strike or not, it is proper for the Congress to consider this antitrust issue.
Listen to this guy.
As a matter of public policy.
Strom Thurmond. Does anybody ever know what he's saying?
I just played that because he sounds so lovely.
Yeah. What state is he from?
One of those Carolinas.
Yeah.
Which one? North or south? I think it's south.
That's the best guy they could find to represent him.
Whether there is a strike or not, it is proper for the Congress to consider this antitrust issue as a matter of public policy.
Beautiful.
It is so fun. And Dolly Parton is all geared up to open Dollywood.
Dollywood.
She is talking to reporters about what's going on down there.
I think when all else fails, country music stars can set up amusement parks dedicated to themselves.
I just don't imagine Dolly would have good rides. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not racing right out to go, but here she is.
How much money could she put into this?
I need the money because it costs a lot to make a person look this cheap. They don't get it free, but they do get a good price. And when they are in the park, they have all-day free 50s music out in the 50s area, in addition to our concerts, where all that money does not go in my pocket, but in the Dollywood Foundation for the education there, which is one of the things that we do there.
Oh, great. You're such a great person.
So Dolly has a new 50s area.
We got to go there. Why don't we do a couple of shows from there?
Yeah, we'll do some shows from Dollywood.
Where is that, Dollywood?
Don't ask me where she's from.
Gotta be in Tennessee, right?
Right.
I thought that was where she was from.
I want to see what's going on there. I really do. Dollywood. See what kind of vermin are running around in Dollywood.
Just what do you get over there?
Yeah, what kind of people trying to pass themselves off as human beings? Don't walking around in Dollywood.
Yeah. And look at this. Tonight on Fox, Channel 5 at 8:30, they're going to have Def Comedy Jam prime time.
Well, how is that going to be? Because they can't say anything dirty. Black people don't like that.
Yeah, they couldn't possibly just have packaged the show that's on HBO and taken out the curse words, because then you'd hear nothing.
Yeah, and plus it's mostly every other word is either the F word or nigger.
That's what I'm saying. So all you'd ever hear was bleep, 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 bleep,
Yeah,
bleep,
right.
bleep.
So this must be a bunch of black performers who can do
Who are
clean
working
material.
clean.
Yeah.
So this won't, be, I guess, be the funniest guys, I suppose.
No, we don't want to watch that. I think they're going to be black mimes. What is it? Fluey? Yeah?
So
Just spoke to one of the producers of Geraldo's CNBC show who confirmed that Geraldo did meet with Judge Ito for 45 minutes.
What a goof.
But he cannot talk about anything that happened. However, I called Geraldo over at his other show, and he's taping today, and he may call us back in 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
We have to stay on? We're off.
Yeah, I got to leave.
Well, if we're still here,
Maybe tomorrow he'll call in and tell us how he met with Judge Ito.
But he's not allowed to talk about anything.
Yeah, but it'll be just funny to find out how he set that up.
Maybe we'll break him down. What happens if he talks about it? Nothing.
Yeah, what, is he going to go to jail?
You can't ruin the trial any worse than what's going on.
But Howard, you don't understand. I promised. That's all right, Geraldo. I give you permission to talk about it. Nothing's going to happen. Take note, too, that Geraldo is Latino. And a very dear friend. I'm trying to rally all my Latino friends. I had to call my Cuban cousin yesterday.
Oh, boy, here he goes.
And, of course, we'd like to say hello to our good friend, Congressman Serrano.
Who is my...
Did he call yesterday? No.
No, he was busy.
My
He's
Latino...
steering clear of us.
No, he called to tell me that a bunch of Latino congressmen were going to be introducing it to Congress that I'm a bad person. No offense, but why don't a few Latino congressmen get together and, maybe talk about some of the issues and problems, like how you can go down to Dallas and just pick up a gun right off, any store or... I don't know. I just think there's so many other issues, but okay.
You know, when you go down there, that if your weapon isn't concealed, it's legal.
Right.
So that's why you see gun racks on the back of pickup trucks.
I know.
And you can wear a holster with a gun in it as long as you don't conceal it.
Yeah,
that makes it better.
What's weird in New York is the law is that if you carry a gun, it has to be concealed. I like it better how they have it in Texas.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it coming.
Don't you want to know the guy's packing?
Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyway, is that the news?
That's it.
All right, thanks, Robin. Can we get out of here?
I would hope so.
All right. All right. Robin's book on sale, of course. Great read. I think I recommend it. I mean, I've only read 3 books, but ours is good.
You got all the way through it.
I did.
That's a good endorsement
with ease.
for me.
With ease. It wasn't a tough read. No words that I didn't understand.
So check it out.
Very touching and beautiful story.
It's my life and how
welcome to
I wound up here.
Right. And everything in between. That's Robin's theme music when she talks about her book. Now the Jackie theme
That's
music.
the Quivers theme music.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling. To order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette, it is $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy 2, get 1 free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Thursday night, April 20th, it's Jackie at Rascals Comedy Club in West Orange, New Jersey. For filthy jokes and info, call 516-9221. Remember, 516-9221 is not a pay service. Don't miss Baba Boohai this Friday night at Sidewalkers Cafe on 72nd Street in Manhattan from 7 to 9 p.m. for the Big Crab Eating Contest. Win a $100 prize. To order a signed copy of Stuttering John CD, call 201-942-OUCH. If you're planning a wedding or a party and you need a disc jockey, call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 718-PAG-5040. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Your Rock 97.1.